Before we begin the battle, we'll be seeing many other skirmishes happen amongst the CWL Elite. Traveling back in time, we will see two former champions clash for the first time in over a year and a half to settle a score once thought finished. The dominant women's tag team champions will rise once again and take on the next challenge, except this time, one team could possibly be removed from their brand entirely. A personal rivalry takes another step further as the Doctor takes on the Silent Assassin in a rematch. Will the results be the same? The biggest secret being held over the Sarge's head will literally be suspended above our heads, and only one person will be able to retrieve the secret. This year has been a year of dream runs, but will Pistolero be the one to fight back with the power of 10 men and crush the dream? One team will indeed win it all. The Nemesis Championship and the Tag Team Championship are all on the line, and only one team will walk out with everything in their possession. The finals of the Supremacy Cup promise us history, as Marilyn Benson can finally overcome one of her toughest rivals, or Holly Queen becomes the first ever two-time winner. Only one can challenge for gold at Endgame, but who will it be? The motherland is calling. The plane has landed. Russia, are you ready to battle for supremacy?
Live with Supremacy here, emanating from Moscow, Russia. I am Alexandra Shaw. I'm joined by the Starjammer, Jay Scott, and this is a night where we will fight for supremacy, we fight for championships, and we fight to truly prove who is the best, and that is the opening contest here tonight, Jay. Two former world champions, two rivals, two people still looking to prove who is truly the better man. This one is sure to be one to watch.
We knew how great this show was going to be, and having these two absolute CWL legends start us off is just a way to show everyone just how big time we're taking it here in Moscow.
The Centurion's back! John Spartacus, he's not a third Nemesis heavyweight champion!
Just shy of 2 minutes. John Spartacus message sent loud and clear to DMS. John Spartacus is ready for their rematch.
At a lean 4 minutes and 14 seconds.
Glory win! Three times! John Spartacus, once again, your nemesis heavyweight champion of the world!
DMS trying to make up for his, quite frankly, embarrassing defeat to John Spartacus, losing in a minute 55 back at Verdict.
Probably the shortest title defense in history.
The opening match of Supremacy is set for one fall. Introducing first, weighing 242 pounds, from Scarsdale, New York, BMS.
We hear the bells chiming all throughout this arena. And are those the bells signifying the death of John Spartacus' career? Is this the death bell being tolled for the main eventer of the first ever, and the winner of the first ever battle for Supremacy? And I think it's BMS who's the one that wants to ring them in.
Look, it has been a long time since we've seen BMS in a CWL ring, but he seems to be more confident than ever. He is completely convinced that when he meets John Spartacus in this ring in just about a minute, he is going to stretch him and test him and destroy him in every way he knows how. Whatever knowledge he's accumulated during his time away, he's confident he can put it to good use to get a win here at Supremacy.
And his opponents, weighing 280 pounds, from Rome, Italy, John Spartacus.
And here he is, the Centurion, John Spartacus, looking to just cut BMS in half before he can even get the ball rolling in his CWL return. John Spartacus is a fearsome foe, and no one knows that more than BMS. What is going to happen when they clash once again here in this very ring?
Large Jonathan Spartacus, Big Johnny Sparta, whatever you want to call him. For BMS, he is kryptonite. Every time these two have got one-on-one, it has been a lopsided affair in the favor of John Spartacus. In fact, I think we have spent more time on their entrances than their two matches for the World Championship combined. John Spartacus had BMS figured out. But of course, BMS has been gone for nearly, I want to say over a year now. John Spartacus is a much different man. We don't know how much different BMS is. It's going to be very telling to see if BMS has come back with a new strategy for John Spartacus, especially a John Spartacus who, in his own words, might not have much time left in the CWL.
Look, I understand that completely, but just personally, as someone who's seen all of John Spartacus' dominance, you look at BMS and you think, whatever new enigma he's kind of cooked up to puzzle John Spartacus, to perhaps finally get that elusive win over him, John Spartacus might just shatter right through it with the Centurion Spear.
He very might. I've got goosebumps, Jay. This one's getting started. John Spartacus, BMF, let's go. And John Spartacus immediately taking BMS to the ground. He's going to want to use that power to his advantage. BMS, though, trying to use some technique, and this is the tale as old as time. Power versus technique, BMS versus John Spartacus.
There we go, got him up there in the stunt rider stretch, and that's certainly going to do a lot of damage to John Spartacus' neck. All of John Spartacus' weight is being put on his own neck, and that is the problem considering just how massive John Spartacus is, and BMS able to capitalize on that disorientation with a Dragon Screw.
I mean, I'm looking at my watch, and BMS so far on pace to do better than at least his first match with John Spartacus, so I guess a bit of a victory there, but John Spartacus, he's starting to get in control, so maybe we're counting it out a bit too soon, or maybe not. DDT for BMS!
Now here we go. Got John Spartacus reeling. Definitely a rare occurrence for BMS, but we'll see if he's able to keep it up. Sending him right into the turnbuckle, smashing the face on that top turnbuckle pad, and he's not done yet. Oh no. Oh, sending the shoulder into the post! That's the shoulder that John Spartacus uses to deliver those Centurion Spears!
Spartacus has enough! He went for the Centurion Spear out of the corner, but I think he was able to get all of it because of that injured shoulder.
That is so intelligent from BMS. I mean, the man has an absolute doomsday weapon in the form of that spear. So what do? You separate the arm from the shoulder. You make it incredibly painful for him to go to that maneuver. And that is the kind of offense that BMS is going to need to keep up throughout this entire match if he wants to have any hope of winning.
Now, just stretching out the arm again, continuing to target the shoulders of John Spartacus. BMS, like I said, he's coming here with a plan, he's coming here with a strategy, and it has been working to perfection thus far. He has neutralized the Centurion. He has neutralized the Gladiator, and John Spartacus is in a bad way right now. This is not good.
With the work he's already done, he is going to make it excruciating for John Spartacus to just lift his arms over his head, much less deliver a Centurion spear. The question now is, despite that, does John Spartacus have what it takes to power through and win the match regardless? And if BMS has anything to say about it, I think the answer is... Oh, I was going to say the answer is going to be no! But John Spartacus escapes out of the BM special attempt with that arm drag.
And now pulls him in! Follow from! Connects! And he just drops him. And now, looking to properly hit it this time, to properly put an end to it, Centurion Spear! Covers him, hooks the leg, but BMS is able to kick out.
He gets the shoulder up. He's up. BMS he's just not done yet.
He does not want to lose 3 straight to Spartacus, but Spartacus is going to be damned if he loses to someone like BMS, someone who has been attacking him from behind, taking cheap shots week after week ever since BMS has come back. John Spartacus is here, not for some petty rivalry, but for pride.
And he's just picking his moment, waiting for BMS to get to his feet. He knows now that BMS is being so intelligent and kind of tackling the shoulder. Oh, look at that! Once again on the arm! Just destroying the elbow this time of John Spartacus. He knows that he needs to pick his shot, get his offense carefully, and now he's just got a shot right to the jaw for his trouble, followed up with that lariat, and then another one right in the throat.
That's the line, connects with one of his own. BMS starting to get fired up here. Kick to the gut, and what is BMS doing? As he's got him locked up, it just face plants him there. Almost like an inverted almost like a version of the BMS special number 2, but it's not enough to get more than a 2 count.
Now here we go. Loading up something big here. Russian leg sweep and following it up. With the octopus stretch. It's the Dominus. It's the Dominus. He's got it locked in.
What? John Spartacus taps.
BMS wins. BMS has beaten John Spartacus here in Supremacy.
A seldom sight. The Spartan has submit to BMS, and redemption has been achieved. BMS has claimed his supremacy over John Spartacus, and if this is a BMS that can take out John Spartacus, that is a big worry for the rest of the Nemesis roster.
The winner of the match, BMS.
And the the entrepreneur, the very wealthy individual, the first kind of industrialist, if you will, here in CWL, is kind of showing everyone just the power that he wields with that dollar bill, as he has gotten the victory over John Spartacus here, twisting him into a heap.
There we see that side of humiliation. The conniving capitalist has conquered the Centurion here in our opening match of Supremacy. But now we move on to our first title match of the night, and there are plenty of them. But we've got the best enemies versus the Hunt. The first time we've seen the CWL tag team titles, the women's tag team titles defended since Mary Mayhem. And they are defending them against a team with everything to lose here tonight. As if the Hunt loses, they are gone from Vindication.
The following match is a tag team match set for 1 fall and is for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, the challengers at a combined weight of 324 pounds. Belle Florette, Tiffany Quinn, The Hunt.
Here we go, Big Bicep Belle and Tiffany Quinn representing The Hunt, ready to take on the best enemies and secure themselves those women's tag team championships. Of course, they do not want to leave their brand at any cost. They want that gold.
And your champions, at a combined weight of 209 pounds, the Black Rose, Sarah Price, your Women's Tag Team Champions, Best Enemies.
With The Hunt, we had to gaze into the iris, but now we are gazing at the Women's Tag Team Champions, who have been holding them, I want to say, for nearly the full season at this point. They have had an absolutely unstoppable and dominant reign with those belts. But is it checkmate here tonight? Has time run out for the Best Enemies as they have been hunted down for weeks now by Belle Florette and Tiffany Quinn? It could be time for these champions to become just another piece of prey.
You said hunted. Because of The Hunt? Was that your intention? To make that hilarious bit? I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Well, what is sure to be fantastic is this tag team title match as those champions hold the hand over those belts. They've been fighting teams from every part of the world, every company, and now they fight Belle Florette and Tiffany Quinn, a team that's been calling them out for months. And now it's go time. Belle Florette and the Black Rose squaring off. This is a tale as old as time, Jay. These two have had this vendetta against each other for over a year now. And it's all coming to a head here tonight. If Belle Florette cannot take those titles, she might never get another chance to, as she's not going to be on vindication. And she's going to be out of the Black Rose's hair. Speaking of hair, just kicks to the top of the head by the Black Rose.
I mean, absolutely. Look, I can't really say that I understand Belle Florette's strategy here. I would really never in a million years try to immediately go toe-to-toe with the Black Rose. Of all the competitors in all of the CWL, the Black Rose is without a doubt the person I am the most scared of. You will never find me sharing a ring with the Black Rose because I have no doubt. Look, I'm a pretty tough guy, all right? I'm a tag team champion, just like the Black Rose. But if I was in that ring with her, she would tear me limb from limb, all right? Make no doubt about that. And she is just doing the exact same thing here to The Hunt. Tiffany Quinn and the Black Rose going at each other. And here we go. Got it locked up. Oh, looking for a Hurricane Rana, but just planted electric chair facebuster there.
And the Black Rose just one step ahead at all times in this match thus far. A mastermind in the CWL. I know we talk a lot about UJ being the mastermind of Star Jam LLC, but this is a woman who at one time in her career held more titles than I think anyone else in the world. She was a Wildfire Pro Wrestling Hardcore Champion, a Tag Team Champion, and the Vindication Women's Champion. It takes some serious braveheart to get yourself in that situation, and she has managed to go this long as champion for a reason.
Now just connecting with the shot right across the jaw there. Tiffany Quinn and Sarah Price locking up. Of course, Sarah Price is going to have, not much of an advantage here aside from the speed, but Tiffany Quinn is going to match her in terms of her, just sheer ferocity.
And I mean, Sarah Price, this is a interesting event for her as it was last year at Supremacy. She not only beat the Black Rose, but also she eliminated the Black Rose to win the Battle for Supremacy and went on to unsuccessfully challenge at Endgame. And ever since she lost at Endgame, she's fallen sort of into this tag title run with the Black Rose. And it's almost been, she sort of fell into this new situation that has worked out better for her, and it is not working out for Tiffany Quinn right now.
And here we go. She's just got the leg grinding on the face of Tiffany Quinn, just pushing on the bridge of the nose, making it harder for her to breathe. But Tiffany Quinn able to escape, able to recover for just a moment before she goes and locks up with offense once again. But oh my God, caught with that huge forearm strike across the jaw. But Sarah Price isn't done, turning her around, and bam, the happy ending right across the jaw.
The happy ending right into the face of Tiffany Quinn, but Sarah Price not able to stop Belle Florent from breaking that up, and the Black Rose taking Belle out of the equation. The best enemies have had firm control of this match since the get-go. The Hunt are going to need to start thinking differently here, and they're going to need to start thinking fast.
And caught with that headbutt there from Sarah Price. She is small, but there's no doubt about it. She is fierce, proving that once again with a second huge moonsault from out of the corner.
Yes, and now we see her just wrestling Tiffany Quinn to the ground. Crossface locked in, looking to get a submission here. But of course, Sarah Price not necessarily a submission expert. Focuses more on speed and striking here, as does Tiffany Quinn, and she has just had the advantage of that every step of the way. And I say she's not a submission expert, but here she is, looking to get the tap out victory. This might very well be enough to do it. Got it locked in.
It's clear that there's a game plan here between Sarah Price and the Black Rose. Sarah Price is here to grind them down, and then Black Rose is going to come in there to finish them. Here we go, Tiffany Quinn able to escape, but the damage might already been done. Going for another submission hold, and if she's not able to get the tap out here, she might want to start thinking about a tag, but she doesn't!
Over.
Best Enemies retain the Tag Team Championships! Oh my God!
And the Hunt is gone for vindication. They are gone from the orange brand that they have been on since seemingly the start of their careers. What is going to happen now for the Hunt?
Perfect tag team strategy there from the Best Enemies, cutting the ring in half, grinding down their opponents, and getting that victory. Fantastic work from the most dominant champions the CWL has seen in ages.
The winners of the match and still your tag team champions, the Black Rose, Sarah Price, Best Enemies.
With all respect to you, Jay, and the rest of Star Gym, the Best Enemies might very well be the best tag team in the world today, as they have just put away the Hunt. They have put away team after team, and it's not a question of who's next for the Best Enemies, but who's left to step up.
I completely agree with you. There's no doubt about it that, Rodrigo and myself are still forging our legacy, but the Best Enemies are cemented as CWL legends. And speaking of legends, we have got Dr. Wrestling Jr., the man who outlasted 8 others at Merry Mayhem to become the Nemesis Heavyweight Champion, the former Nemesis Heavyweight Champion now, going up against none other than Zach Anderson.
And this is a rematch from a couple weeks ago on Nemesis. And now, though, it's a lot more personal. Doc knows it was Zach Anderson who tried to take him out of commission, and he wants some revenge.
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, representing Fatal Vices, Zach Anderson.
Here he comes, one of the acolytes of sin, the silent assassin, Zach Anderson, the man who has shed seemingly all of his ties to his former friends to join the Fatal Vices, and he has been tearing through the Nemesis roster ever since. He has been, well, I guess the best word for it would just be an absolute terror. He's been a beast. He's been unstoppable.
Yes, and he has been impressive, is I think the key note, as even though his win-loss record has been the best, he has been one of the people to watch. And my prediction, it's not going to be long until he's a champion here in the CWL.
and his opponents, representing Kingsman, accompanied by Alex Clark, weighing 150 pounds, from Tijuana, Mexico, Dr. Wrestling Jr.
Of course, I'd be remiss in saying that Zach Anderson's going to be a champion in the future if I don't talk about the Grand Slam champion that is Dr. Wrestling Jr. Former Tag Team Champion, former World Champion, former Twitch Champion, former YouTube Champion. This man has done it all in this company.
I mean, look,
But can he beat Zach Anderson? That is the big question.
I mean, that's certainly a question that we're going to find out tonight. Last time they faced off, Zach Anderson absolutely pasted him with his signature powerful offense. It took everything Dr. Wrestling Jr. had to survive with his kind of quick-witted, lucha-inspired offense. And El Doctor, that's how they say it in Mexico, is going to have to pull out a miracle tonight if he wants to get a victory over Zach Anderson.
Yes, and thing is, though, doctors make up miracles every single day. It's kind of their job is to do miracles. And tonight, well, I don't think necessarily Dr. Wrestling Jr. is going to be going by the Hippocratic Oath.
I would say it's the job of real doctors to make miracles. Dr. Wrestling Jr., well, his credentials are spotty at best, but one thing that's not spotty about him is his wrestling offense. He is overpowered in that initial stage by Zach Anderson. Not able to capitalize, though, as Dr. Wrestling Jr. manages to catch him with that hanging neck breaker.
And again, these two, they know each other. They know how they work. So you're going to see probably a lot of reversals between the two as, you know, just trying to feel each other out. And I misspoke. Dr. Jr. has never won a tag title, so he's not a Grand Slam champion. But you've got to feel he wants to get that accolade as part of the Kingsman. But Alex Clark has been conflicted, to say the least.
I mean, he's definitely had a hard time understanding who the man who he has considered his brother for so long has just in such a short amount of time become something so evil, so vile, so sinful, if you will. Because this man, Zach Anderson, as we know him now, is, according to Alex Clark, nothing like the person he grew up with, and he is showing that here as he just absorbs this offense, barely even flinching from Dr. Wrestling Jr., already climbing his way back up onto the apron.
Yeah, and now just sort of trying to get a bit of a reprieve, but Dr. Wrestling Jr. not wanting to give him any of it, but gets caught with it up, gets caught with the headbutt, and then gets caught with the belly-to-belly, gets tossed across the ring, and Dr. Wrestling Jr. just gets right back to his feet, single leg dropkick drops Zach Anderson.
Now here he goes, dragging him by the arm. And just boom! That's just beautiful there. Beautiful, just using his own body to deliver additional offense there. Just putting his own head on the line, literally.
Yep, and now though, speaking of head, got grabbed by the head of Dr. Jr. and now being pushed down, and the knee gets targeted, and that's going to take out some of the strikes behind that general anesthetic.
He's got him there, looking for an early pinfall. Perfect for wearing out an opponent. Dr. Wrestling Jr., a man with immense stamina, is going to need it all in reserve if he wants to get the edge over Zach Anderson. So very intelligent by Zach Anderson there, trying to wear him out early with that pinfall. But Dr. Wrestling Jr. not down yet, able to connect with the sunset flip powerbomb.
And we see, oh, wait a second, Dr. Wrestling Jr. is calling for it, the healthiest move in all of professional wrestling, the Patience Moonsault connects.
Just absolutely flattening him there across the chest. And now looking to set up for something big here. We know what's going to happen. He's looking for it. Oh, he comes in, it connects with the stomp, maybe trying to fake him out.
And now, he didn't want to just hit the Patience Moonsault. I think he wanted to go for more. But Zach Anderson may be taking advantage of that mistake. No, blocks the chop. Sends him into the corner, does Doc. And now, looking to show him a bit of a CWL special, if you will.
Got him hooked up, looking to take him all the way to the outside. And boom! Right in front of our announce table.
Right in front of us, right here. And we see Alex Clark is outside of the ring in his wrestling attire. He knows very well this could become an issue where he might need to step in between his two friends. And you've got to wonder if he's maybe expecting that to happen here tonight after all the bad blood between the two men. As we see Douglas Jr. tearing at that mask of Zach Anderson.
Very intelligent. And earlier there, he went for a rolling elbow strike almost identical to Zach Anderson's Midnight. Perhaps trying to psych him out with that there, kind of showing you whatever you can do, I can do better because I've got a PhD.
I mean, you're Harvard educated. You know everything about that, wouldn't you?
I do. I know this. The more you pay for an education, the better it is. Which, you know, Dr. Wrestling Jr., he's one of the smartest men, not quite as smart as me, but he definitely knows what he's doing inside that ring, and he's showing that once again with, as you said, the healthiest move in all of professional wrestling, the Patience Moonsault.
And now once again into the cover, but Zach Anderson keeps fighting. And ever since he's had this indoctrination into the Fatal Vices, he's almost been this unstoppable machine. But I think the doctor is looking to prescribe him an apple a day. And an apple a day keeps Sin away. Dr. Wrestling Jr. hooks the leg. And Zach Anderson somehow gets the shoulder up.
There's one thing we've learned about Zach Anderson ever since he joined the Fatal Vices. It is that he can absorb an almost unbelievable amount of punishment. And speaking of punishment, collapsing the vertebrae of Dr. Wrestling Jr. with that pile driver, dropping him right on the top of his head.
And the neck, of course, is going to be absorbing all the force of that. And Dr. Wrestling Jr., who was put out commission for a couple weeks by Zach Anderson, you've got to feel now he does not want to get put on the shelf any longer by this man. I don't even want to call him a man almost. He's almost, like I said, almost like an unstoppable machine.
The silent assassin of Nemesis here, and now with that front chop block, taking Dr. Wrestling Jr.'s knee out from under him. Very intelligent there. That's going to make it more difficult for him to connect with the general anesthesia, as well as for him to lift up his opponent and connect with that apple a day once again. But he's ready for it. He's got that Fisherman Buster locked in. Drops him right on the back of the neck, the top of the shoulders, the back of the head. This may be it for Zach Anderson. He's got the pinfall. 1, 2. No, he's able to kick out.
Of course, Dr. Wrestling Jr., ever the showboat, ever the crowd pleaser, took a little bit too long after the move, and now got caught slipping there as that knee catches him right across the jaw, and he is staggered on the outside right now. As Zach Anderson goes over to him, goes for the forearm, Dr. Wrestling Jr. connects with one of his own, off the ropes, single leg calf kick connects, and now diving elbow drop from the running position. And Dr. Wrestling Jr. is getting fired up here. Zach Anderson forced to retreat to the outside. Dr. Wrestling Jr. there to meet him. Gets turned around. KIA! KIA incoming! Killed in action!
The electric chair driver just absolutely shattering the back of Dr. Wrestling Jr. But Alex Clark is distracted the referee, preventing it from making the pinfall. He didn't see it. That could have been the end of the match.
You saw Zach Anderson almost just throw up his arms in the air at Alex Clark. As why would he do that if Alex Clark has been trying to endear himself to Zach Anderson to get his friend back, and now Zach Anderson may have just been screwed over. He may have just lost this match because of the actions of his so-called friend Alex Clark. As Dark Jr. ascends to the heavens, he clears the table, but wait a second, gets caught. Power bomb by Zach Anderson.
But kick to the knee by Dr. Wrestling Jr. trying to immobilize Zach Anderson, looking for the chop, doesn't judge the distance quite right there, and caught with the jawbreaker. Oh my goodness, another knee right to the jaw, and another knee strike.
Just laying the knee strike, and now Alex Clark just trying to talk some sense into Zach Anderson. He's trying to get through to his friend. He's trying to get his friend back, but he's almost costing his friend the match here as Doug Wrestling Jr. goes up and over. Frankensteiner hooks the leg, sinks it in. No.
And I was going to comment earlier how Alex Clark has been keeping it really clean. He's been providing no distractions. It definitely seems like he was going to, try to play it down the middle, but it definitely seems like he's chosen a side now because his interference has been the decisive factor in allowing Dr. Wrestling Jr. to connect with the open chest surgery and almost get the victory.
Dr. Wrestling Jr. connects with open chest surgery, but it's not enough. He's calling Zach to his feet. Is this enough? General anesthetic up on the shoulders. And an apple a day to Zach Anderson. Into the cover with the lateral press to put away the acolyte of sin. But he somehow powers out.
At 2.999999, I've never seen a pinfall count closer than that in my life.
And Doc Buster Jr., he's clearing the operating table once again, but Zach just stands up, gets dropped with the drop kick.
Get caught with that drop kick right on the ear. That is exceptionally painful, but Zach Anderson is still back on his feet and firing away with those punches. And now pushing Dr. Wrestling Jr. away, and another chop block, making it more difficult for him to hit that general anesthesia.
And you saw, as he went over to pick up Doc, he just stared. It's Alex Clark in the eyes as he then connects with the Midnight. But Dr. Wrestling Jr., every last bit of adrenaline left in him, but he gets caught with the jawbreaker.
Oh, and caught with the arm drag. He was looking for another one of those knee strikes, but he's gone to the well too many times. Dr. Wrestling Jr. was able to anticipate and take over with that horrendous arm drag there.
And this has been an absolute war between these two men. Both men looking for big strikes, neither quite able to connect. Dr. Wrestling Jr. sends Zach Anderson spilling to the outside, almost looking for a chance to reprieve. And trust me, I could use one as well as I'm starting to lose my voice here, but Dr. Wrestling Jr. is looking to lose a lot more. He's willing to lose it all to put away Zach Anderson with the diving fist drop to the outside.
That knee drop just right across the throat, crushing the trachea. That is going to make it exceptionally difficult for Zach Anderson to hoist his opponent up, to get Dr. Wrestling Jr. onto his shoulders and connect with the killed in action driver. But both of them are still somehow fighting. They're somehow fighting it what seems like 100%.
Adrenaline is a powerful drug, Jay, and it is what is keeping both these men standing right now. I mean, we've got an Iron Woman match later. These men are proving to be Iron Men in their own right, as they have taken best shot after best shot, and they are still fighting with every bit of ferocity, with every bit of blood, with every bit of sweat that they have left in them. And the question is, who's the one that's gonna fall first? As Zach Anderson lifts up Dr. Wrestling Jr. powerbomb, stacks him deep, hovers up, 2. And Zach, no, only a 2 count, but transitions, Boston Crab locked in, and that is all.
Just picking apart the Doctor. I mean, using his dominating power to devastating effect, destroying Dr. Wrestling Jr. at the end of that match.
In the exact same way he beat him just 3 weeks ago. The first verse, same as the second here tonight. Zach Anderson with a chorus of victories over Dr. Wrestling Jr.
The winner of the match, Zach Anderson.
Zach Anderson celebrating that almost impossible victory with the amount of punishment he received, but he was able to fire right back. Dr. Wrestling Jr., I see him heading to the backstage area now. And now it looks like it's just Zach Anderson and Alex Clark here alone in the middle of the ring.
And Alex Clark again just trying to reason with his friend, but I mean, we saw what Alex Clark did in that match. And Zach Anderson's paying him a receipt. As the Midnight just knocks the lights out of Alex Clark, and may not have just shattered the jaw of Clark, but the friendship, any lasting friendship, at least, that those two had.
Alex Clark is going to feel very lucky that he's got Dr. Wrestling Jr. as his friend now, because that Midnight might have knocked out a couple of his teeth. But up next, we've got Sarge and Ebac. I mean, Sergeant Hunter and Ebac have just been gunning for each other on all over social media these past couple weeks, and they're going to settle it with a ladder match here at Supremacy.
We've got we've got Sarge's medical records hung high above the ring in a briefcase. And Ebac said that if he wins, he's going to expose the truth behind Sergeant Hunter.
The following ladder match. Introducing first, weighing 256 pounds, from Nova Scotia, Canada, Sergeant Hunter.
Ever since Sergeant Hunter came back to the CWL since his retirement, he's had a little fire, a little bit more aggression, and I gotta say, I like it. I mean, he has been bending, if not breaking all the rules to get what he wants. He has been punishing people a little bit more than they've punished him. I mean, he has just been absolutely furious in his retribution, and let me tell you, this is a better Sarge than I've ever seen. I love it, and I hope he stomps Ebak into the ground and climbs up that ladder and retrieves the briefcase. I mean, look, Ebak deserves a beating here, and Sergeant Hunter's the one to give it.
This is a match, I mean, first of all, like you said, this is a match that's gotten very personal. But also, this is a match between two CWL originals. There's more than just the past couple weeks here in terms of history. These are two men who, they've known each other. I'm sure if you had asked Ebak around the time when Sergeant Hunter retired, he'd consider the two of them friends. But now, Ebak says he does not recognize this side of Sergeant Hunter, this sadistic, this torturous side of Sergeant Hunter, who seemingly is only here to hurt and destroy his opponents.
Look, whatever gets the job done, and Sergeant Hunter has learned that over the course of his CWL career. He has realized that to get what he wants from life, he's got to, he's got to hurt some people, and he's comfortable doing that.
And his opponent, representing the JPU, weighing 217 pounds, from Norwich, England, the highest score in every arcade, Ebak.
The Hyrulean high flyer making his way down to the ring, the man who made a name for himself in the CWL by climbing a ladder and winning the Twitch title. But tonight, this isn't about championships, this isn't about making a name for yourself. This is about those medical documents that are hung high above that ring. And this is about whatever information Ebak has seemingly figured out about Sergeant Hunter. And you've got to feel, like I said, this isn't about titles, this isn't about pride, this is personal between these two men. As this one gets underway now, Sergeant Hunter immediately going out of the ring, maybe looking for a ladder off the rip.
I mean, very smart as so. He wants to win this match as quickly as possible. Getting the ladder already inside the ring and getting caught with that shot from Ebak. Just that wild overhand strike.
Yes, it's now Sergeant, like you said, he is laser focused right now. He's already got the ladder set up. Ebak, he wants to take the fight to Sarge. Sarge wants none of Ebak right now. He simply wants to climb that ladder and grab that briefcase. That briefcase, which for new members of the CWL does have an added padlock on it, so it's going to take a bit longer for them to unhook it.
And now he's begun working on that padlock, but he has got that traditional soldier's discipline. He knows exactly what he needs to do, and that is unlock that briefcase. Ebak taking these swings, trying to dislodge him from the ladder, but Sergeant Hunter, he will not be dissuaded. He wants those medical records back.
And now, Ebak going up on the ladder, and shades of Ornament and Maverick Gallows, rest in peace. He hits the power bomb, and now Ebak is the one climbing the ladder. Ebak is the one trying to undo that padlock and secure those medical documents. And he might very well have it unhooked right now, as Ebak has secured the victory over Sergeant Hunter.
Without a doubt, the most interesting ladder match I have ever seen. Extreme focus there on obtaining that briefcase, and that is what the competitors did. Ebak unhooked the padlock, capitalizing on the work already done by Sergeant Hunter, and that has got to be making him furious.
Wait a second, Jesus! The Sergeant just shoved Ebak off the ladder.
I mean, it certainly did seem to make him furious. He's got the ladder right in his hands. He's tossing it out of the ring. He's got to have dire intentions from Ebac here. He's going to give him the beating he deserves.
I mean, you say he deserves. He won the match fair and square. And now Sergeant Hunter, he's wanting to make sure by force that those medical documents don't get leaked. They don't get let out into the world. As Sergeant Hunter, I think, is looking to take Ebac out of the game entirely.
He is doing what needs to be done. Those medical records are his property, all right? And property is more valuable than anything. Sergeant Hunter is showing just how well he knows that by punishing Ebac here, destroying him with that steel chair across the ribs and across the back.
And this is just getting brutal. Someone needs to come out and put a stop to this, as Sergeant Hunter is just beating the brakes off of Ebac right now. And he sends him to the outside, sprawled right in front of our announce table.
Here we go. He's going to continue this beatdown even further, just massacring him. Maybe even a career-ending injury could be inflicted here with this chair. Just destroying him, twisting the steel over his flesh and bone.
And this is just getting tough to watch as Ebac is just getting demolished right beside our announce table.
I wouldn't call it tough to watch. I think he can use a little bit more. Come on, Sarge. Stomp him into the table.
And now Sergeant Hunter slamming down Ebac on that announce table. And just knocks him down with the kitchen sink. And what, someone backstage has to put a stop to this. I mean, this is getting inhumane at this point.
Just stomping right on the stomach. The continued damage to the guts, to the back of Ebac. It's complete brutality. I love it.
And now Sarge dismantling our announce table here, lifting up Ebac, and I think he has dire intentions now. As he lifts Ebac onto the table, and this is not good. I'm getting out of my seat here. And fire for effect!
There we go, just crushing him with that fire for effect straight through our announce table. Wait, hold on.
So,
What's going on?
what the...
I'm confused, I'm perplexed. Sergeant Hunter has stopped his beatdown and returned to the ring. What? That's Sergeant Hunter! That's Sergeant Hunter! And that's Sergeant Hunter! That's Sergeant Hunter and Sergeant Hunter! There's two Sergeant Hunters! Can someone, for God's sake, explain to me just what in the hell is going on? Because I am seeing double. What the hell? What the hell? That is Sergeant Hunter running to the ring, and that is Sergeant Hunter in the ring. What is going on?
Sergeant Hunter and Sergeant Hunter, what the hell? Sergeant Hunter is here, but he's already been here, and now, I mean, are you seeing double? Am I seeing doubles? Is this some grand illusion? Sergeant Hunter is here at Supremacy, and the other Sergeant Hunter seemingly is paying him no mind. And throwing up the salute, and Sergeant Hunter's having another bit, beating himself up, I guess.
I mean, if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. There's Sergeant Hunter, and here they're fire for effect! Fire for effect! Oh my God! Fire for effect on a Sergeant Hunter! I don't really understand which one. And now this Sergeant Hunter, maybe he's going to continue the beatdown on Ebac. I don't know. It's the one that came out to distract the first Sergeant Hunter.
I mean, it seems almost he's putting a barrier between the other Sergeant Hunter and Ebac. I am perplexed. I am unsure what any of us just saw, but Jay, I know you need to get back and take care of your match, take care of your business.
Yeah,
I'm going to have the chairman joining me in just a second, but speaking of your business, Starjam LLC as a representative here as Pistolero is going up against Alex Gray for the Vindication World title. Last year, Pistolero had the opportunity of his career in the Supremacy Cup final. He failed then. Now he walks in as champion. Will he fail again as he goes up against Alex Graves? Well, I am now joined by the chairman of the CWL as Alex Graves makes his way down to the ring. The chairman, you know, Alex Graves has been here. Of all the people who have been here since day one, Alex Graves has been here the most. The inaugural tag team champion, a Twitch champion, but he's never held world title gold. And this is his first opportunity to do so in the CWL. Do you think tonight is Alex Graves' night?
I like to think so, but did Jay look a little worried to you as he was walking away? He looked a little confused.
I mean, to be completely honest, so as Evac has been helped out here and other half tables been built, I'm not sure if us know what we just saw, but we might be about to see a new champion on our hands.
I mean, you're not wrong. This is honestly one of the nights that I'm much more excited about than many nights because this is where the road to endgame begins. And honestly, if we look at everything all put together, this could be the night that Starjammer LLC becomes the faction in the CWL. And this is the first step towards that.
No stable has ever held both the Vindication World Championship and the Nemesis World Championship, much less all that and the tag titles. Pistolero is looking to keep up to that end of the bargain right now. And then it would all be on the likes of Jay Scott and Rodrigo Del Gaisio later tonight to keep up at their end of the bargain. But the hired gun is here tonight, and he has been hired to exterminate the dreams and the hopes of championship glory of one Alex Graves.
You know, there's one thing that I believe Alex Graves has going for him that is almost undeniable. It is absolutely the fact that this year has been the year of dreams. Look at all the world champions that we have had this year, Alex. It has been a who's who of CWL legends. Literally, people that have been here since day one. Pistolero, Harris, Alex Perez. The list goes on and on. Michael Young even. You know, that part of the Highwaymen.
And like you said, yeah, it's been a year of dreamers. And they may say Alex Graves is a dreamer, but we know he's not the only one. Pistolero was in that spot at Battle Lines just a few short months ago. But now, who was once a dreamer, and Alex Graves might become the nightmare of all of Vindication. Because I don't think he intends on losing that title, letting that grip that is around his waist loosen anytime soon.
The following match is set for 1 fall and is for the Vindication Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, the challenger, weighing 220 pounds, from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, USA, Alex Graves. And your champion, representing Starjammer LLC, weighing 185 pounds, from Allentown, Pennsylvania, your Vindication Heavyweight Champion, Pistolero.
There we see last year, that title was being held by Chris Princess. Now, well, it's being held by a much different style of man in Pistolero. Pistolero, he knows what it's like to compete at this event. Like I said, he competed in the Supremacy Cup final. He came up short last year. You've got to feel this year is a lot about redemption.
I feel like this year is about redemption for a lot of people that, you know, may or may not have been snuffed, if you will, in the previous years. And Alex Graves wants to add his name to the list of every single person that has captured World Championship gold, just like everybody else from Season 1. However, he does have a very, very tall task ahead of him in Pistolero. It is not a joke when we say that this guy has the strength of 10 men.
Absolutely. But you want to talk about people looking for redemption at Supremacy, Alex Graves might be near the top of that list as he sits him out there with the Uranagi. But it was 2 years ago at the last male Battle for Supremacy where Graves was eliminated without even going over the top rope. A miscue from a referee cost this man the chance of main eventing Endgame 2. And now he is finally getting what he considers his due here tonight at the same event 2 years later for the Vindication World Championship, and he is not letting it go to waste. Great buster on the top of that turnbuckle.
That just goes to show how much he wants this championship. He is going to be pulling out all the stops in order to become Vindication champion. Here we see the first pinfall right there, but Pistolero able to kick out.
And Graves, Graves is not much of a power guy. He's very much so an all-rounder. But he has been manhandling Pistolero in this match, especially with that Northern Lariat to the back of the head and these punches. Pistolero has yet to really get out of the opening gate, as Alex Graves has been flying forward with flying colors.
Maybe it's that determination that we talked about. But now I pose the question. If Alex Graves continues to go at this pace and Pistolero can outlast him, does that give Pistolero the advantage?
That's the thing. That's what this is all about. Pistolero, yeah, he might just be sort of playing a bit of a rope-a-dope now as he ropes the dope off the ropes. But, he could be just sort of trying to weather the storm of Alex Graves before he comes in and finishes him off. But that storm might just be too much for him to handle. He better batten down the hatches as the back suplex connects.
And now look at Alex Graves here just dragging the body of the champion across the mat and now just landing those kicks to the lower back and now to the face. A much more brutal Alex Graves here on the attack.
Like you said, determined. This is the biggest moment of his career. This is the biggest match of his career. The biggest match he's had in 4 years that Alex Graves has had. And he is not going to let go slip to waste. Big boy senton by Graves. And he has been lighting Pistolero up, Chairman. Have you expected to see this from Graves? This is a move you definitely had to expect. Open Graves may have just given him the opening to win this match, too. But Pistolero gets that shoulder off the mat.
You're not going to take down somebody like Pistolero that easy, as now Alex Graves could possibly be looking for the lost soul here. He's got him hooked up. Oh, but instead, going for this trifecta of moves. This is how he's put away a lot of people recently. Is this going to get him the Vindication Championship?
Fisherman hooks the leg, bridges beautifully to become Vindication World Champion. No, Pistolero gets that arm off the mat.
That was such a close call there, Alex. I honestly thought we almost had a new Vindication champion, but now Pistolero is starting to turn the tables. But look at that. Alex Graves catches the kick and goes into a beautiful dragon screw.
Pistolero with a punch to the gut, but Alex Graves not having any of it. Up on the shoulders, airplane spin, round and round goes the champion. And now Alex Graves just doing whatever it takes to move away Pistolero, and he's going around for some more, just continuously spinning him with that airplane spin, and Alex Graves now finally comes to a stop.
I'm not gonna lie, I got a little dizzy there, but it looks like it worked for Alex Graves here. He's going for a second pinfall attempt here. Still only a 1 count. Pistolero still with all the bearings to be able to continue this matchup.
As Pistolero drops Alex Graves, and there we see the called shot from Pistolero. He's found his mark. He's got Alex Graves hooked up. Oh, and he's looking for something big, and the belly suplex all the way to the floor.
And that is what we mean when we say that Pistolero has the strength of 10 men, as he now slides out of the ring, picks up Alex Graves, and this could be the opening that Pistolero needs to not only get back into this matchup, but even retain that Vindication Championship.
You now see the bridge of the Northern Light suplex and up and over. Vintage Pistolero right here. As he goes to the cover to retain the title, to dash the hopes of Alex Graves. Alex Graves still fighting. Still scrapping.
Now Pistolero picking up Graves here once again, but Graves gets him with that jawbreaker. Now Alex Graves, hold on, is he going for the trifecta once again? No, Pistolero was able to scout it, connects with the knee to the top of the head, and now he's got him up on the shoulders. It's a cruiserweight killer.
the three most dangerous letters in all the CWL, the CWK for the 1, 2, 3. As Pistolero has dashed the dreams of Alex Graves with a cruiserweight killer, and he retains his Vindication World title. What a match!
The winner of the match and still your Vindication Heavyweight Champion, Pistolero.
Well, that's one championship retained for Starjammer LLC. But now we are going to move on to another much more chaotic match, if you can believe that here, Alex.
Yeah, this has been a chaotic night. We have seen returns, we have seen betrayals, we have seen banishments, we have seen retention. But coming up next might be the most insane match in CWL history. At least one of them. As coming up next, we've got that winner-take-all six-man tag that everyone's been waiting for. The tag titles are on the line. The Nemesis World Championship is on the line. 3 different factions in CWL are represented. The Disciples, the Fatal Vices, and Starjammer LLC all have a ringer in this match. And it is winner takes all.
I think Pistolero did a pretty good job in the previous match getting the momentum started for Starjammer LLC, but now it is going to be up to Jay Scott and Rodrigo Del Gaiso to keep that up. But the Nemesis Champion and Anarchy Inc. are going to do everything in their power to stop that from happening.
The following contest is a winner-take-all match. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 436 pounds, your tag team champions, Jay Scott, Rodrigo Del Gaiso, Starjammer LLC.
Tonight for Starjammer LLC, we saw Pistolero win, which means it's winner take all. It's the thrill of one more kill for Starjammer LLC. But if Jay Scott and Rodrigo are the last people to fall, they will be forced to sacrifice their will and sacrifice those tag team titles.
You know, I think the most interesting function about this entire stipulation is the fact that if Starjammer or Raymondo are the ones that pick up the fall, it is who picks up the fall that becomes the Nemesis champion. Such stakes are not on the line for the other side of the team. It's almost unfair even.
And their tag team partner, representing Fatal Vices, from Derrickton, Raymondonia, the Sin of Gluttony, Raymondo.
You know, there's days where I feel like I've seen it all here in the CWL. And then I remember that Raymondo is under an actual CWL contract. The fact that I saw this man walk around backstage talking and screaming at the top of his lungs saying, "Hired Bun, hired Bun." Now it all makes a lot more sense.
He's a rabbit. He's becoming. Raymondo is. He's something, man.
Perplexing. Let's say perplexing. How about that?
And their opponents first, weighing 225 pounds, from San Jose, USA, your nemesis, heavyweight champion, Alex Perez.
1 year ago, at this very event, Alex Perez challenged for the Nemesis World title for the first time, and we saw him lose that match, and we saw the death of the Disciples of Evil. Tonight, Alex Perez is the one walking in champion, and he is walking in with his boys. The band, if you will, is back together. But Alex Perez, we know, he's been dealing with injuries. He's been dealing with losses. He lost to Raymondo. He lost to Jake Eagle. Is history going to repeat itself once again here tonight? Or can Alex Perez keep this Cinderella story alive? It is 1 minute to midnight, Chairman. Can Alex Perez stop the clock?
And their tag team partner at a combined weight of 426 pounds, Jacob Nitro, Brad, Anarchy Inc.
You know, you talk about the dream run from Alex Perez and everything that has happened to get to this point. You have to almost really think about how much trust Alex Perez has in these two men. Yes, they were formerly of the Disciples. They were almost like brothers at one point. But the amount of trust to have in them to come into this match and put his own championship on the line so they can regain their tag team titles, it's almost unheard of how much trust that takes.
I mean, it was Brian who stopped Alex Perez from winning the world title just last year. And now it might very well be the man who keeps that title for him this year. Or he could be the one that causes him to lose it once again.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like we have to clarify just once again, now that the match is official, now that the match is right here in front of us. If anybody on the Starjammer side ends up with the winning pinfall or submission, whoever gets that fall, no matter who it is on the other side, that person will become the Nemesis champion. Now, as far as Anarchy Inc. and Alex Perez go, if they end up winning the match, then they will claim the tag team championships for Anarchy Inc. So when we say winner take all, we literally mean winner take all.
And I mean, for Alex Perez, you've got to feel his back's against the wall in this match. Every other of the 5 men in this match have something to gain. Alex Perez, there's no silver medal for him in this match. There's no way he comes out of this. He either retains his title or he loses the gold. He can't gain anything. He's got his back against the wall. You've got to feel he's going to fight like hell to keep his title.
And I mean, he should. And again, that's why I keep mentioning the trust factor again. Alex Perez is just such a selfless competitor, and it may come back to bite him here. But as we see the first tag happen here, Jay Scott now has his hands on Brian, and these two tore the house down just last month at Titan Clash in Greece. That was the craziest tag team match I've ever seen, and I called out by myself.
And wait just a second, Brian. He's going big right off the top. Big coast-to-coast dropkick. They call a big match Brian for a reason.
And he lives up to that moniker very, very well. Is now Jay Scott. I believe he was trying to go for a tag, but instead he grabs a hold of Brian. And look at that, using one knee to go for that Starjammer right there. And now here we see the hired bun, if you will.
No comment. At what point has Raymondo fully gone off the deep end, because I feel like we haven't even got our head underwater at this point.
I don't think there was ever a shallow point whenever meeting Raymondo.
What if this is the shallow point? What if all this stuff that has happened in the last 4 years, this is just the tip of the iceberg? We start with time-traveling gorillas and things for space and time, and we getting blown up by a laser, and then now we've got bunny people, and then what's next? Next, he's going to show up and, oh, what's this? He's got an entire army behind him, and they're all lizards, and they're the government now. I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, at this point, it'd be par for the course. Ryan picks him up and now has a headlock.
And look at that. It looked like he was going for a vertical suplex. Stalls it out a little bit and plants him down with a brainbuster, as now Big Match Brian could be getting that Nemesis Championship back to his corner, in his corner with those tag team championships, I should say. And now Raymondo, misses with the double leg in the corner.
I mean, Brian has quite the history with supremacy. He debuted on this show. He retained his title last year on this show. Big Match Brian isn't just some tagline. He shows up in the big matches. There's a reason he was the world champ going into Endgame last year. But he's sort of fallen off the wayside this season. Can he get back to that Big Match Brian moniker and live up to it?
You know, it's also kind of crazy to think as well that this year we almost saw Brian retire until FJA got that adrenaline, that performance type energy back into him. And now here we see him in such a high profile matchup with everything on the line for all the competitors.
Absolutely. He now takes Rodrigo Del Garcio to the ground. And I've got to say, as much as I am not the biggest fan of many people in that corner, Rodrigo is someone who has definitely impressed me all season since his debut. He has done things, although maybe sometimes shady, he has done things by part the right way, and he has been dominant and he has been impressive as he has taken the fight to everyone. As we see now, near strike super kick combination by the likes of Starjammer LLC to Brian.
That is why they are the tag team champions. But I believe you're right. I think the moment that Jay Scott and Rodrigo Del Garcio began this partnership of Starjammer LLC, it was a turning point for Rodrigo Del Garcio. Before then, he was, I don't want to say directionless, but he was picking fights with people like Dr. Wrestling Jr. Jay Scott gave him that guidance and made him the superstar that he is today. And I truly believe that. And now they are tag team champions together.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, we've used the analogy before. When you go into prison, you fight the biggest man in the yard. That's what Rodrigo was doing. He was going for who he saw were the top guys, and he was trying to take them out. Jay Scott, as much as we have to say about him, he has given him guidance, and instead of going for the biggest man in the yard, he's going for the gang leaders. He's going for the champions, and now he has a chance to become a double champ here tonight. And I think that's one thing we have to keep in mind. There is a 33% chance we leave here tonight with a double champion.
Oh, look at that.
It could be Jay Scott.
The Starjammer comes out of nowhere as now he goes into the pinfall. Is this going to be it? Oh, Nitro kicks out before the 3. That was such a close call.
As he sends him into the corner now. And Jay, almost on purpose, keeping Raymondo out of this match. I'm sure he'd love for the Nemesis will help to sort of stay in Starjammer. As Raymondo could almost be, he's very much so an X Factor, he could pose at a huge issue to his plans, but right now Rodrigo's a huge issue to the arm of Jacob Nitro as the Del Garcio special is locked in, and let me tell you, Jacob Nitro isn't feeling too special right now as he is writhing in pain. But he's still able to turn it over, get himself out of it, and he fights his way out of it.
Jacob Nitro is a very resilient competitor that we have here on the Nemesis brand. And you saw it there when he escaped that armbar, but now Rodrigo Del Garcio is trying to even the odds back once again as these two just keep going counter for counter. Hold on.
Adios. And you might just be saying adios to that Nemesis World title, but Cruz is not going to let that happen just yet.
That is how quick Rodrigo Del Garcio can end the match. That adios literally came out of nowhere as the two were fighting back and forth, jockeying for position, trying to get the better of one another. And then literally out of nowhere, just one jump, one knee strike, and that was almost it.
And there we see the Texas Toho, shades of Terry Funk from Rodrigo Del Gaizo. You might look at him, you might see a pretty boy with a few good holds, but he is as brutal as they come. That backdrop driver just dumping Jacob Nitro on his head. But now it's Jacob Nitro going for the technical acclimate here. Armbar locked in, referee a perfect view of Rodrigo, but Rodrigo was not going to quit.
Same kind of reversal right there from Rodrigo Del Gaizo to Jacob Nitro. Neither man is going to be letting the other one get the better of them in that exchange. As now Rodrigo Del Gaizo connected with a beautiful slam, but now those kicks to the midsection as Del Gaizo gets it once again, the Del Gaizo special, but Nitro gets out of it almost immediately.
Didn't want to get it fully locked in. He's taken enough damage to that arm chamber. He doesn't want any more. As now Jacob throws Rodrigo into the corner. And he tags in his tag team partner, Brian. Going off the ropes. Big boot into the drop down there, neck breaker. That's 6 cents from Brian, assisted with Nitro, but Raymondo able to break it up as Jay Scott pulls interference. You see Brian having a tag, he asked of him from Perez. Perez comes in as Nitro neutralizes Raymondo.
And now it is Alex Perez and Rodrigo Del Gaizo meeting in the ring once again. As Del Gaizo picks him up, look at that beautiful suplex right there. Del Gaizo showing his technical prowess as well as his strength as he goes for it twice and now a third time.
That teardrop suplex, and now the tears might be about to flow for Alex Perez as his championship is in dire straits right now.
Oh, Jay Scott tried. That diversion was perfect. Jay Scott had Alex Perez's attention, and Del Gaizo came in from the back to get the leg. And now the adios connects. The adios connects. Is this going to be it?
Adios, and say adios to the title. Rodrigo just won it. Rodrigo Del Gaizo is a double champion here. The tag titles and the world title are both on Rodrigo's arms, on his shoulders, and more importantly, they are in the pocket of Starjammer LLC.
The winners of the match and your champions, Starjammer LLC.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Starjammer LLC and Raymondo have won the match. That means that Starjammer LLC keep the tag team championships. But most importantly, we are getting that Nemesis championship brought out here in just a second for the new champion, Rodrigo Del Gaizo. Announcer, take it away.
Your Nemesis heavyweight champion, Rodrigo Del Gaizo.
In under a year, Rodrigo has gone from blue chipper rookie to a double champion, and this isn't any double champion, to holding both the world, tag team, and Nemesis championships on his shoulders. This man, as far as I'm concerned, is the most decorated man on Nemesis right now. Hell, maybe in all of pro wrestling.
I can't recall the last time we had a double champion here in the CWL. Maybe perhaps Flapjack Carter 2 years ago, and that was with the Twitch Championship and the Tag Team Championships. But what a rise for Rodrigo Del Gaizo that it has been here this year. And to come into such a chaotic match and pick up another victory over Alex Perez when all the cards were on the table, that was just impressive.
And now Starjammer is the most powerful faction in the world right now. Vindication World Championship, Nemesis World Championship, Tag Team titles. Hell, they've got championships in other companies. They rule the world. But right now, who is going to rule over the women's division as these two will battle it out in a 20-minute Iron Woman match. Benson versus Harley Quinn, a rematch among rematches. And whoever wins this wins the entire Supremacy Cup. It is all to play for 20 minutes.
Marilyn Benson, Yui Nishimura. Marilyn Benson,
I had a wrestling coach in high school once tell me that there's always somebody out there to chase. Or somebody out there who won't stop chasing you.
looking to put this one to bed. Connects with the upset. Scrambles into the cover to put her away in under 3 minutes.
Either way, it's a reason to be better than you were before. A reason to keep pushing yourself no matter how far ahead you are.
Our main event, finals of the Vindication bracket for the Supremacy Cup. If Kaylin wins, she goes on.
Now, Sheila has an opportunity to basically eliminate Valkyrie from the entire contention.
Valkyrie's out!
No matter how much distance you have to gain, that distance can be covered in 1 second.
It only takes one moment. It only takes one mistake.
And there we see it. The Queen's crown connecting to win the cup. Harley Quinn hooks the leg to win it all.
We are going to see Harley Quinn go up against Marilyn Benson in the finals.
To make all the difference between failure and supremacy.
And failure is
And
not
failure
an option.
Is not an option.
The following match is the finals of the Supremacy Cup and is a 20-minute Iron Woman match. Introducing first, weighing 130 pounds, from Salem, Massachusetts, she is a serious wrestler, Marilyn Benson.
It has been quite the ride for Marilyn Benson this season, Chairman. It seemed, you know, and she said herself that after the loss to Vox, that she would have to start over from square one, that she was at the back of the line, but this cup has been her chance of redemption. And tonight, it all comes to a head against the woman that the last time these two went one-on-one, beat her 2 out of 3 falls.
And her opponent, weighing 140 pounds, from Pearl River, Mississippi, Harley Quinn.
You want to talk about chaotic. You want to talk about uncertain. This year's Supremacy Cup is going to go down in history as probably one of the most exciting things that we have done in the CWL as a whole. Harley Quinn had everything to play for last week on Nemesis, and she made it through. Benson made it through, and it was an absolute treat. The fact that we're getting this match once again, with the stakes being as high as they are, a title match now on the line for Endgame. In 20 minutes, we're going to find out if Marilyn Benson can finally overcome her demons, or if Harley Quinn is going to become the first ever 2-time Supremacy Cup winner.
And Harley Quinn's been on both sides of this coin, Chairman. I mean, she won, like you said, the second ever Supremacy Cup. This would be her second Supremacy Cup win. But also last year, she was the champion that the Supremacy Cup winner chose to fight. She beat back the Supremacy Cup winner. Oh, sorry, not the Supremacy Cup winner, sorry, the Battle for Supremacy winner, Sarah Price. But regardless, she knows what it's like to be on both ends of that coin, and you've got to feel that in terms of the mental game, the mind games of it all, she might have the leg up on Marilyn Benson.
I mean, I think it also has to do with the fact that these two know each other so well. You know, some people out there believe and say that the only reason Marilyn Benson is no longer on Nemesis is because of Harley Quinn. People legitimately believe that Marilyn Benson jumped to Vindication because she wanted nothing to do with Harley Quinn. Now, I don't believe that personally, but, you know, it's something you may have to think about. Oh, my God.
I mean, I don't mean to cut you off there, Chairman, but Marilyn Benson, she's showing that she has not an ounce of fear in her body, risking it all that early with that apron DDT, and we aren't even 2 minutes deep into this match.
It just goes to show how much Marilyn Benson wants to win this matchup. She's no longer that party girl that Harley Quinn knows. She is the serious wrestler. And now look at this, trying to get a hold of Harley Quinn, flips her over, but Harley Quinn very smart to roll to the outside. You don't want to give up that first fall. It is going to be incredibly crucial because that's going to change everything in the matchup. It's going to change the momentum. It's going to change what you have to do with your adrenaline. You have to really, think, because at that point, to win, you no longer need one fall. You need two at that point.
As now, wait a second here. Almost this fish hooked into the crossface does Marilyn Benson. She has got it locked in, looking for submission. She's trying to beat Harley Quinn at her own game.
But Harley Quinn able to get out of it as now she connects with those elbows to the midsection. Harley Quinn tried to meet Marilyn Benson in the middle, but Benson grabbed a hold. And look at that. Just driving the shoulders into the lower back of Harley Quinn, as now I think we're about to see possibly our first Arc's end of the matchup. It connects. Is this going to get Marilyn Benson the first fall? 1, 2. The referee's right there. No. Such a close call.
Such a close call. And that's the Benson Blitz we've seen time and time again. But we're only 3 minutes deep, Chairman. You've got to wonder, can Harley Quinn just outpace Marilyn? As she is going for broke early on. Not the best strategy against someone like Harley Quinn, who we know has that gas tank. She can survive the full 20.
Harley Quinn now going for 1 clothesline, 2 clothesline. Ducks Maryland's attempted one and gets the third one. Beautiful connection right there is now Harley Quinn picks up Benson. And here we go. The first royal stretch is in.
First one's in, and this is going to be crucial to the damage done to Marilyn Benson over the time of this match. Marilyn Benson stuck in there for 16 minutes. Oh, but the pump kick sticking the boot of Marilyn Benson right into the face of Harley Quinn.
Those royal stretches are definitely going to start doing damage as they start adding up little by little. And here we see Harley Quinn now going after the arm once again. She wants to ensure that the next time she does connect with either that royal stretch or the bow down, that she does get a fall, because you have to keep mounting your falls. The submission game of Harley Quinn is almost second to none.
I've got to agree, there's not many that can truly match her in terms of submissions. But Marilyn Benson, she's got that explosiveness that so few superstars have. That ability to just come out of nowhere and take control of the match. As she points to the skies, she calls Harley Quinn to her feet. She's going for broke. Big Hurricane Rana sends through for the first fall. Sinks in tight. But Harley Quinn able to push it off.
It's crazy to think that it's almost already been 5 minutes now. That's a quarter of the matchup already almost done. And neither woman has been able to capture a fall yet. Call me crazy, but I think this is actually going to be a really, really close race.
We get to the 15-minute mark right here, and that's the length of a full Supremacy Cup match. If the Supremacy Cup match goes the full distance, it would be as long as this match is still yet to go. These women are going to have some stamina to go through this one. And stamina, especially after the weeks they have had going through the Supremacy Cup, they've had hard match after hard match. Marilyn Benson just had to fight Yui Nishimura. Harley Quinn just had to fight Cassidy Clark. Those are not matches you want just 7 days before an Iron Woman match.
I think here Marilyn Benson's trying to slow down the pace, possibly just a little bit, to catch her breath. But Harley Quinn was able to get out of that hold. And now here we go once again, the Arc's End. Marilyn Benson is about to pick up the first fall 6 minutes into this matchup. 1, 2, but Harley Quinn continues to kick out.
Harley Quinn, she knows how crucial that first fall can be, and Marilyn Benson knows it as well. She's calling for the end. Harley Quinn does not want to be put away this early, but Marilyn Benson does not care what Harley Quinn decrees. Marilyn Benson is the queen of her own destiny, and she goes up and over, kick to the side of the head. And now, though, catches the kick, throws it to the ground, and Marilyn Benson again targeting the submission game of Harley Quinn. She is looking to beat the queen at her own game.
With this half Boston Crab, it is cinched in, it is locked in, it is deep. Harley Quinn is still able to push away Marilyn Benson and turn it around. But look at that, Marilyn Benson right back on the attack with that dragon screw catching the kick. And now she is just hunting her prey here. She is just waiting. The third arcs and connects. And this has got to be the first fall. 2. And now Harley Quinn somehow still kicks out.
Harley Quinn, we know, is ever resilient. We saw how much it took for Valkyrie to put her down. There's a reason she went the entire Crimson Cup in Season 2 without dropping a match. There's a reason she only dropped one this year. Harley Quinn has very tough armor. But I feel Marilyn Benson, if she can get a crack in that armor, it could begin to shatter very quickly. But not if Harley Quinn shatters Marilyn Benson first with the Queen's crown, slamming her spine first into the mat for the 1-2. Not the 3 just yet. Still no falls. 8 minutes deep in the match.
You know, she kind of did that maneuver over the turnbuckles as well for a little bit of extra damage. But now, she's just going to go for it again. If one doesn't work, she's going to go for it right again. Going right into the pinfall. And I think this may be it, Alex. The first fall finally happens. And now Harley Quinn is on the board. 1-0.
And now Harley Quinn, she just needs to keep that lead for 12 minutes. And if possible, add to it. She's going for submission here now. That thigh-based leg lock there on the head. That head scissors. Looking to tap out Marilyn Benson, but it's not to be.
Now Benson sends Harley Quinn into the corner. She just drives her shoulder into the gut twice. And now it's just going to rub the boot into Harley Quinn's face. That makes it very uncomfortable. And now, once again, look at that. Just running her boot right through with a little bit of extra damage.
Yeah, I think there's a footprint right on the face of Harley Quinn, but not enough to put a point on the board of Marilyn Benson. We see the drop kick low to the side of almost to the eardrum of Harley Quinn. And you don't always need to hear in a wrestling match, but it definitely throws off the senses. It discombobulates a competitor. And Marilyn Benson knows she needs to do whatever it takes to put away Harley Quinn. She's been able to beat her before. Can she do it again tonight? As now she goes up top, and I think she's looking to go for some vintage. Benson connects with the superplex, rolls over, Falcon Arrow for the first fall. Can she get it, Chairman? Hooks the leg, and Marilyn Benson still isn't able to do it.
But she's feeling confident. You can see her raise her fist. All the energy is still there. Marilyn Benson is starting to call for it. I think this is going to be where she ties it up, Alex. Kick to the gut. The arc send connects once again. Goes right into the pinfall. And the match is almost halfway over. And I think we finally have a tied score. There we go, 1-1.
And as we are 10 minutes deep, I was about to say, we're 1-1. Harley Quinn looking to go into the second half. Up here, the royal stretch is locked in, and she is stretching the hell out of Marilyn Benson, and Marilyn Benson is forced to tap. 2-1 for Queen.
Just as soon as she was able to get the tie, now Marilyn Benson is back on the attack because she's down a score.
And then we see the shoulder get put into the post. And this is where Harley Quinn becomes dangerous, as she is looking to just start racking up points here. Looking to go 3-1 up against Benson. And she does.
And now look at this, the fire in Benson. She connects with a clothesline. And now this is rally time for Marilyn Benson. She's got to get 3 falls in a row if she wants to win this matchup.
Harley Queen now, she is sitting pretty. She's up by 2. She's got 9 minutes left on the score clock. She just needs to make sure Marilyn Benson does not initiate another blitz and taking her out for 2 falls.
We talked about this being a marathon, all contest long, all tournament long even. And it's almost uncanny how Marilyn Benson is able to still commit to all these blitzes that she does. She's almost treating it like several amounts of sprints rather than splitting her energy across the entire board. And maybe that's what's costing her this matchup so far.
And now we see Harley Quinn just targeting her on the outside. And Harley Quinn can take a double count. She can take a double count out to the bank every day of the week because she's up 2-1. But I think out here she's looking to do some extra damage to Marilyn Benson, but Benson isn't going to allow it. And normally we'd see her get a pinfall maybe out of that, but it's not to be, as it's on the outside. This is not falls count anywhere. And Harley Quinn trips up on that top rope.
Very smart play by Harley Quinn. And quick correction, you said the score's 2-1. It's actually 3-1, but I think it may be about to be 4-1 here as the Royal Stretch connects once again. And Marilyn Benson is forced to tap, as now it's starting to look a little bleak here for the serious wrestler.
And Harley Quinn, this is just shades of the second Supremacy Cup all over again. Just dismantling her opponent, and another Queen's Crown drops Marilyn Benson.
Going into the pinfall here. But Benson, defiant, still able to kick out. Is Benson going to be able to recover and be able to come back here? We've seen incredible comebacks happen this year. Benson could very well be on the way to adding her name to that list.
As well, we see it. Arced connects again. Scrambles into the cover looking for some glimmer of hope as Benson. And just like that, the hope is snuffed out by Harley Quinn.
Marilyn Benson able to connect with that beautiful kick right there. All the acrobatics in her arsenal are starting to come out as now she just drives the foot into the elbow in a very uncomfortable position for Harley Quinn. Flips her over. And now Benson is trying to keep that adrenaline going. She's trying to keep that energy going. But Harley Quinn just has an answer. This is why Harley Quinn has been one of Marilyn Benson's toughest rivals. And after that judo throw, it could have been another score for Harley Quinn, but Benson was able to kick out as now once again, Harley Quinn goes over to the shoulder.
Again, just targeting the shoulders. Marilyn Benson at this point, you got to feel she knows the clock's there. If there's any bit of gas tank in that Benson blitz, she needs to start firing it up now. As we see her maybe looking to set up once again for that Superplex Falcon Air combination, that vintage Benson. But at what point, Shaman, is it too little too late?
And never say never, Alex. That is something that I've learned in my life. And I believe that Benson can definitely still come back, especially if she can keep pulling off maneuvers like that, like the Falcon Arrow Superplex combination. Is this going to be another fall? Look at that. She is starting to catch up. It is now 4-2 for Harley Quinn. And now Marilyn Benson has an opportunity to keep bringing this fight back with 5.5 minutes left to go.
As now, it's still quite the mountain, but it is a much more achievable one, especially with that arc end into the cover. 2, and now it's a 1-point ball game. 4-3. Harley Quinn is not ready for this. This is the worst case scenario, but she plans down Benson to get that lead all the way back up to 2 points, but she's not able to get it.
I'm telling you, it's that defiance by Marilyn Benson. She doesn't want to be put away yet. She still has 5 minutes to continue fighting back. And all she has to do is get 2 more falls. If she manages to do so in the next 5 minutes, she is going to be the winner of the Supremacy Cup. And now, maybe a little bit of fear is coming from Harley Quinn.
I mean, that was 2 back-to-back. Like, we used to seeing that from Holly. Now Benson's doing it. I think if this ever been... Oh, wait a second. As now we see the arm trapped once again. And at this point, it's academic as Marilyn Benson is forced to tap out.
Queen once again gets a little bit of extra momentum to her side. She increases her lead once again. And now look at that enziguri by Marilyn Benson. She's got 4 minutes left to act. And again, it's not impossible. We have seen crazier things happen here. And I think it's entirely possible that Marilyn Benson can get those 3 falls. She just needs to connect with more arc sends. She maybe needs to go for more superplex Falcon Arrow combinations. But she needs to keep pedal to the metal.
I mean, she needs to, but it's not as simple as that, Jim. And Harley Quinn is not just going to let that happen. And now she plants her down once again into the cover for another point for, I believe, 6 now. But Benson still trying to fight. Now gets hung up with the flapjack, does Marilyn Benson, and now into the cover, just go for anything at this point, but still not enough. Every cover she gets on Benson is 3 seconds or 2 seconds or however long that Benson can't cover her.
And she just keeps getting caught up here by all kinds of strikes from Harley Quinn. We got 180 seconds left in this matchup, and Marilyn Benson is not in a position that she wants to be in if she wants to try and even come back in this matchup.
No, this is the Harley Quinn show right now. As now, wait a second, Marilyn Benson finally starting to get some action back into it. Picking up Harley Quinn, kick to the gut, arc send. This could be enough to get herself back in the ball game here with 2 minutes 30 left on the board. But Harley Quinn doing her best. And at that point, I feel like that does less in terms of damage to the score and more damage to the psyche of Marilyn Benson because you know time is ticking away.
I think the referee may have taken a little bit too long there to count that fall. He was making sure that the shoulders were down, but it may have cost precious milliseconds. Look at that! The dive caught by Harley Quinn. 18 minutes into this matchup, and Harley Quinn is still able to catch Marilyn Benson, connect with the powerbomb, and another royal stretch gets another fall for Harley Quinn. As now I think this may be over here, Alex, with only 1:45 left.
To get 3 falls in 90 seconds would break all kinds of CWL records. I mean, the shortest match is under a minute, and even then, that's just 1 fall, and Harley Quinn might be about to widen that gap even further. As she goes into the cover to essentially just bury it and cement it at this point. 7-3 Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn now connects with that powerbomb to Marilyn Benson, but like you said, it's just running out the clock at this point. Those punches connecting to the face of Marilyn Benson, but she already seems to be completely out of it. She is just out on her feet as now Harley Quinn sends her to the outside. Maybe just mercy here at this point.
And now as the time ticks away, it does look like Harley Quinn is going to be the winner of the Supremacy Cup. As 40 seconds are left on the board, and at this point, the Cup is just trying to inflict as much damage on Marilyn Benson as she can at this point, just to sort of send a message that I am the queen of this division, and I will have no people step into the throne. As now, Harley Quinn, for the second time, will win the Supremacy Cup. But Marilyn Benson, I guess, just trying to show that she is not going to just roll over and die here. But with 10 seconds left, Harley Quinn with the jawbreaker. And just these two once again at a standoff here. As that's it, time ticks off, and Harley Quinn is once again the winner of the Supremacy Cup.
What a gutsy performance by Marilyn Benson, trying her best, but ultimately falling short once again. 7-3 falls in the Supremacy Cup. That was just dominance by Harley Quinn, as she now earns another championship opportunity at Endgame. And now the question is, who is she going to pick?
match and the winner of the Supremacy Cup, Holly Queen.
Congratulations again to Holly Queen. She overcame adversity. For a second, we actually thought she wasn't even gonna make it to the finals. She defeated Cassidy Clark, the woman that put her away just a few months ago, in order to qualify for this final. And she made such a statement against Marilyn Benson here today. And now she can look forward to Endgame. She is just 8 weeks away. Whichever championship she wants, she has an opportunity for. But now the men get to come out here and prove who's going to be the one that gets to go to Endgame. One man, 30 entrants, only one championship opportunity. Who is going to take it? We are here in Moscow, Russia, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go and take it up to the stage to hear the rules for this matchup.
The following match is the battle for Supremacy. The contest rules are as follows. 2 contestants will begin the contest inside the ring. After a predetermined allotted time expires, a new competitor will enter the battle. The only way to be eliminated is to be thrown over the top rope and for both feet to hit the ground. This will continue until all 30 participants have entered the match. The last man standing will be your winner and will have a championship match of their choosing at Endgame 4. Entering the match at number 1, representing Fatal Vices, weighing 225 pounds, from Brooklyn, New York, Daddy Luscious, Matthew Ramirez.
You know, it's such an unlucky sight to see Matthew Ramirez coming out here at number 1. But ladies and gentlemen, we are now once again joined by Jay Scott, who is out here because we're doing this with 3 people at the commentary booth because that's the kind of action that you are going to see here. We knew Nemesis was going to get the number 1 draw here for the Battle for Supremacy due to the actions at Battle Lines. And well, unlucky for Matthew Ramirez, he drew number 1, Alex.
Yeah, he drew number 1, and of course he does still have the luxury of knowing, at least, who he's going up against right away. He knows Colin Fritz is going to be the next person out here. But Matthew Ramirez, I mean, stranger things have happened in the career of Matthew Ramirez. I would not be surprised if he could go the full distance. I mean, is it likely? No, but it's not impossible.
Look, I'm focusing entirely on what's happening here. I did, of course, just get the victory in one of the biggest matches CWL has ever seen. But what we've got going on right here is perhaps even more important. This match here can change lives in an instant, and that is what we were about to see at the end here of Supremacy.
Entering the match at number 2, representing the fabulous, furious Freaks, weighing 175 pounds, from Tokyo, Japan, Colin Prince.
Well, Colin Prince has been put here at the number... You've got to be kidding me. Chris Princess has made his appearance here. Is he taking Colin's spot in the match? Was this a ploy by... He is? Chris Princess is the number 2 entrant. And Colin Prince has been sent to the back. He is not supposed to be here. Chairman, he's supposed to be suspended for competing in this match, and somehow he has wormed his way into it.
I don't know what's happening here. Let me get with Faith La Rosa real quick.
I guess Colin Prince has surrendered his spot to Chris Princess, and now he will be the second entrant here, preparing to lock up with Matthew Ramirez to get the battle for supremacy started. This is incredibly interesting, this development. And, you know, even though the number 2 spot is not exactly preferable, you can never count Chris Princess out. A competitor of his caliber, he could very well go on to win the whole thing.
I mean, the last time we saw Chris Princess in a battle for supremacy, he was entering at number 30. Definitely what you would call a bit of a fall from grace, but to look on the positive side of things, Chris Princess and Matthew Ramirez is very much so a dream match in terms of CWL. And I've got to be honest, I'm excited to at least see how it goes. This one underway now. Chris Princess belly-to-belly suplex. And Jay, you've maybe not stepped in the ring with Chris Princess, but you have stepped in the ring with Matthew Ramirez, and you've been in the ring more than me and Chairman have at least. I guess so. When you were looking down the barrel of 28 other entrants in this match, what's sort of your mindset for staying alive?
Look, I've been in battle royals before, none quite as large or prestigious as the Battle for Supremacy, one of the most important matches in this company or in any company. And look, if I was in Matthew Ramirez's shoes right now, quite frankly, I'd be terrified. The odds of winning this kind of match are not good to begin with, and they get worse and worse the farther forward you start in the match, and Matthew Ramirez has got to be feeling extremely unlucky at this moment right now, as he is getting the crap kicked out of him here by Chris Princess.
But, you know, we have seen people win from the number 14 spot. So to say that it's unlucky to start from before is not quite, you know, a thing that we really think about here. But hold on. We got our first entrant, or I guess our third entrant, if you will, joining us in the Battle for Supremacy as Jasper Star from Vindication is making his way to the ring. And now this is where we're going to see as the match progresses, the ring will begin to fill up. There's going to be more bodies. There's going to be more people that are joining the battle. And, you know, I don't know if y'all know this, but Jasper Star has actually turned over a new leaf. MD finally knocked some sense into him.
I mean, that's all well and good, but at the same time, Jasper Star is someone who he's been waiting for that one breakout performance. I'm not saying it's going to be impossible for him to do it, but winning from number 3 would certainly be a breakout performance for Jasper Star. But I'm there against the likes of Matthew Ramirez, and you want to talk about him going after legends, a CWL legend in Chris Princess, that is definitely not a lucky draw for Jasper Star.
And now the question is, will he be able to survive all that way until the number 30 entrant? We have our number 4 coming out for just a second. Now turning it around and slams him down. The face just planted down. And here it is, FJA! FJA making his big entrance here in match. I mean, number 4, not exactly the best number, but he tells it to us all the time. We can't underestimate him. He is ready to come in here, exhibit his traditional acrobatic athleticism, and perhaps get himself a title shot all the way at Endgame. It would be a tremendous opportunity for him, and I've stepped in the ring with FJA. I've locked up with him firsthand, and I can tell you he is an incredibly capable competitor, more than capable of winning the Battle for Supremacy.
And now Ramirez eliminates Jasper Star.
Jasper Star has unfortunately been eliminated here. He is our first victim here in the Battle for Supremacy as it goes over. And now we have 3 people left in this matchup. And again, FJA from Nemesis, you know, you can challenge for any championship you want. It doesn't have to be the one from your brand. We could even see people here challenge for the King of Genesis Championship if they so choose.
I mean, that would be.
We know FJA has been chasing that Nemesis World title ever since the season began. Unsuccessful against Brian, unsuccessful against Will. Maybe he'll be successful tonight. And speaking of successful, coming up next, we've got our next entrant.
Here we go.
The number 5th entrant, we are going to see Brubble make his way to the ring. Half of the Broken Standard, and you know, this man is a giant. If I'm in the ring, I want to be wary of my surroundings because you've got a monster coming your way.
Absolutely, and especially given the size of a lot of the people in here, they aren't necessarily heavyweights. At least not heavyweights the style of Brubble. You gotta feel he's definitely a big threat in this match, especially considering the fact that him and Chris Princess have that history between the two. As now those two do battle in the corner. And we see people beginning to pair off. And Brubble's out already! Chris Princess dumps him out!
Great out of the gate. Brubble has been eliminated. And once again, Matthew Ramirez and Chris Princess locking up. FJ looking to pick his opportunity, executing a tag team maneuver here with Matthew Ramirez. That double DDT right on Chris Princess. But it's every man for himself here in the battle for supremacy. Immediately, Matthew Ramirez and FJA turn on each other, hit with that huge spinning wheel kick there.
You know, I'm actually surprised that Brubble was eliminated by Chris Princess, because, you know, they had their differences between the FFM and the Broken Standard. But now, here comes number 6.
Number 6 makes his way into the... Making his way into the Rumble. Hold on just a second. God! The crowd here in Moscow is going crazy. Blade Coleman from Genesis is in here at number 666. And he has emerged from the depths of hell to proclaim his shot in the battle for supremacy.
Look, I heard of this guy for the first time like the other day, when I was asked about him in an interview. I have no idea who the hell he is, but whenever I ask anyone, all they can say is, from hell, from hell, from hell. I have no idea what they're talking about.
I'm still just shocked that he was able to show up here.
This is, I mean, hey, they've been saying it all along. Anyone and everyone could show up in the battle for supremacy. Blade Coleman making a surprise appearance here, and I don't think anyone expected to see Blade Coleman mixing it up with the likes of Chris Princess or FJA.
Wait, hold on. Is Blade Coleman Will Alpha's son? Is that who I'm thinking of?
Wait a second.
Oh my God, Chris Princess has been eliminated by Matthew Ramirez.
That's another elimination that we've got. And now the field is starting to thin out. But now we've got entrant number 7 about to make their way to the ring. And who's it going to be? Oh, the Crimson Dragons are about to make their first entrance here into the battle for supremacy as Zyrotoa takes number 7.
Zyrotoa not just representing Crimson Dragons, but right now the only Vindication representative in the match. As we've got people from Nemesis, people from Genesis, and now a Vindication person. It's one of the most exciting nights of the year for a reason. And Matthew Ramirez is still in this match. I think it's important to point out from the number 1 spot. But I'm sure Zyrotoa would love to have the honor of eliminating him.
And now a huge punch across the face, pasting Zyrotoa as he's trying to make kind of his initial triumphant spread of offense in the ring, and able to avoid elimination there, clocking Matthew Ramirez on the side of the head with that elbow, and FJA and Blade Coleman locking up towards the top of your screen.
As once again, now we see people pair off into 2, Zyrotoa and Matthew Ramirez. They could cross paths in the future in the tag team division, but FJA is getting to know Blade Coleman a little too much, it seems.
I mean, when you consider the likes of FJA and what he did in CWL, he debuted, you know, I want to say close to last year's Supremacy, and now we're seeing Blade Coleman, a true rookie, mixing it up with him, and he knows how big of an opportunity this could be. And speaking of opportunities, it looks like Starjammer LLC has an opportunity to get even more gold, as the Aussie assassin, the Highwayman, Michael Young, is now looking to claim another prize for Starjammer by winning this match.
let me tell you exactly what's going to happen. Michael Young is going to go into the middle of that ring. He's going to lariat everyone over the top rope, and he is going to challenge for the YouTube Championship at Endgame, and he is going to win. This is my pick to win, and it's not just a guess, it's an inevitability. Michael Young is going to be standing tall at the end of Battle for Supremacy, no question.
You know, it's actually a smart idea there, Jay, because if I'm not mistaken, Michael Young is just one championship short of becoming the next Triple Crown champion. So going after the YouTube Championship, you know, Max Shearman's YouTube Championship, that's a smart idea for the man.
I mean, of course, we've discussed it at length before, but caught immediately with the Rainmaker DDT there. Now dropping the big elbow across the chest of Michael Young.
As now we see the ring, like you said, it's beginning to pile up. 2 from Nemesis, 2 from Vindication. We've got Genesis represented. And now we see Zaratoa being hoisted up by FJA. FJA tried to eliminate the big Samoan. And if he could do it, that would be a big feather in his cap. But he is not able to do it.
And now here we go as we await the next entrant into the Battle for Supremacy. It's Lucas Button, the man who has clashed with William Black time and time again. It looks like he is going to be making his way into the Battle for Supremacy and perhaps trying to get a little bit of, vindication, I guess would be the best word for it.
You know, like you mentioned, yes, he has been having his differences with William Black as of late. And one has to wonder, are they even going to meet in this ring here before the Battle for Supremacy? Is Lucas Button going to possibly eliminate William Black or vice versa?
I mean,
That's a pretty big if, though, and I don't mean to cut you off, Jay, but, I mean, we saw the likes of Rumble, someone who I think many might have had as like a dark horse pick to win it all. He was eliminated in a matter of, I want to say, seconds. Lucas Button might be suffering the same fate. Boy, could skip the same fate to FJA. He's got him teetering on that top rope, looking to throw him over the top and eliminate him here.
Now we see over on the other side of your screen, Blade Coleman going up against Michael Young. I did a little research while we've been talking, and it looks like, in fact, I was right. Blade Coleman, that is, in fact, the son of legendary hardcore wrestler Will Alpha, going toe-to-toe with Michael Young. He's been taken out for the moment, and now Michael Young is clashing there with Zyrotoa. Chops abound. Everyone's chopping the hell out of each other. It's amazing.
On the left side, I'm not sure if you saw it, Jay, but Lucas Button did indeed eliminate FJA. So FJA is eliminated from this contest as now we await the number 10 entrant. Yo, that's Shelton Parks! The party is here in Moscow, Russia!
I mean, I'm dancing. I don't know if you're dancing, Champion, but I know Shelton Parks, someone who loves to dance, making his way down to the ring, and the party has begun here in Moscow. I mean, I'm seeing people dancing all over the place.
I have had the displeasure of watching Shelton Parks wrestle on many occasions. And there we go, straight over the top rope, just like he deserves. I don't say this very often, but good work, Zyrotoa. The big Samoan getting it done once again and eliminating Shelton Parks before we even have to see him do a move. Thank God.
I'm pretty sure I just saw him walk back up. Well, I'm sorry, not walk back up. Dance back up the rampway. Just as soon as he came out, the party is right out.
I mean, the party ain't stopping as long as Shelton Parks be popping, and he's just had to stay in and he pops right back out. But regardless, I mean, it's been a crazy night so far. I mean, we've certainly seen anyone could show up, and I don't know who's going to show up next. Blade Coleman's out, eliminated by Matthew Ramirez, and now we await our next, I think, number 11 entrant.
And now Eli Evans, the representative of the backroom dealings here, stalking his way to the ring, ready to do Golden Mask's bidding and perhaps get himself an opportunity there at Endgame. He's one of, in my opinion, the most overlooked competitors on Nemesis. And speaking of Nemesis competitors, he is going to have to do a lot of work here to kind of justify his brand. Lucas Button was just eliminated over that top rope. Caught with that boot right across the side of the head of Michael Young.
Now, it was very interesting to note that we actually got word that the backroom dealings all agreed that one of them should go to Endgame, but here at the Battle for Supremacy, it is basically every man for themselves. They are going to do everything that they can to be the ones to make it, but they're not even going to let each other stand in the way. As look here, it looks like Zyro Toe is going to try and eliminate Matthew Ramirez. We're up to 11, and Matthew Ramirez is still here.
Speak too soon, Chairman. Zyro Toe has got him teetering, but Matthew Ramirez able to wiggle his way out of it. And yeah, like you said, he is still fighting. This is a big Iron Man performance from Matthew Ramirez, all the way from number 1, still in as we head to number 12, another Crimson Dragon, the Russian hometown kid, Zastro Horror. Again, tripped over my words. The excitement in this arena is electric for Horror right now.
And now as Horror looks to deal some offense here, he's either going to be backing up his fellow Crimson Dragon and Zyro Toa, or they're going to come to blows. I mean, he might not have an opportunity either way, as Matthew Ramirez catches him with that huge suplex and sent him halfway across the ring.
Now look, Zyro Toa is trying to take a bit of a break. Eli Evans could very well... Eli Evans just eliminated Michael Young! What a statement made right there by Eli Evans!
And now we're seeing the Crimson Dragons being forced to pair off here. Crimson Dragons versus the Nemesis roster almost. As Zistro Horror is out already. Matthew Ramirez, public enemy number 1 of Moscow, and he is soaking it all up. But Zyro Toa looking to get some revenge for his fallen Crimson Dragon.
We've got 3 people in the ring right now, and Edward Bronson is looking to make it 1. When he enters, he is going to throw all of them over the top rope. At least that's his intention. But as we've seen through his time on Vindication, he has more than enough muscle to make it happen. Everyone has got to be quaking in their boots right now as they look at the murderous monster making its way down the ramp.
Edward Bronson drew the unlucky number 13 here for the Battle for Supremacy. And you have to imagine that bloat breaker has got to not only is it going to make people pass out, it could very well be the weapon that he uses to just throw people over the top rope without any resistance.
Absolutely. When you have the life choked out of you, it's hard to say no to getting thrown over that top rope.
As now we see Edward Bronson, and he's doing battle with Eli Evans, and again, it's 2 Nemesis, 2 Vindication. But Bronson's sort of been getting lit up by strikes of Eli Evans ever since he got in. And now we see Zyro Toa trying to eliminate Matthew Ramirez here. He's got him dangling. He's trying to push him. Matthew Ramirez holding on for dear life, but he's eliminated. What a showing from Ramirez in this matchup.
Now here we go, just looking to brutalize Zyro here. But Zyro not about to let it happen, breaking the arm over the shoulder.
And here we go, the next entrant in this matchup. Number 14 is Ricky Valentine. He wants to make a statement here. And imagine this. He lost at Endgame 1 to the winner of the Battle for Supremacy from number 14. Now Ricky gets a chance to do the exact same thing 3 years later if he can win this Battle for Supremacy at number 14.
And we're seeing Ricky keeping it. I mean, he's looking for stamina here. He's looking for something he can get comfortable in this match. And he's not looking for no ring gear. He's just looking to go in and fight. And that's what he's doing. As Zyro Toa is the one bringing the fight to him. As Eli Evans now taking the fight down with Bronson, trying to hoist the big man over the top rope.
Yeah, I don't know how good of an idea that is, considering the size differential between the two. I mean, Edward Bronson hanging on with, I would say, relative ease and just almost taking his head off his shoulders with that elbow strike.
And look at as the ring starts to fill up once again. We have 3 Vindication superstars and 1 Nemesis superstar. This has got to be looking a little bit bleak for the people of Nemesis. We got to get somebody else up in here.
I mean, here's the thing. We're not even halfway through this match, Cameron. That was number 14. We've still got another 16 to go. Here's number 15, the halfway point of it all. Coming out next, who is left? And it's not Nemesis or Vindication, it's Carl Stone, the former king of Genesis.
I'm livid. I finally thought I got away from this guy when I left Mexico, and now he's here in CWL to make life annoying for me again. Please, Edward Bronson, just break this man and send him flying over that top rope. I want to see his ugly mask. I don't want to see his ugly face. Just wreck his shit right now.
You're not wrong. You two do have history. But ladies and gentlemen, I've got breaking news for you. This is actually Vindication's newest superstar, Carl Stone. No longer part of Genesis. This is his first appearance as a member of the Vindication roster.
And now
Ricky Valentine, Eli Evans teaming up to eliminate Bronson, and Edward Bronson is eliminated. That's one of Vindication's ranks down. We have now 3 Vindication, 1 Nemesis still in the ring. As Carl Stone, like you said, making his technically his Vindication debut, and what a debut it would be to win it all.
huge flip there, just crashing down onto Eli Evans. And now just stomping his face into the mat as Ricky Valentine attempts to hoist Zyro Toa over that top rope. We're about to see the next entrant. The clock is ticking down. Who's it gonna be? Jake Eagle looking to finally unleash some of that technical offense here, maybe tap out Carl Stone.
You know, Jake Eagle was actually a part of that Twitch title match just a week ago where he was unable to capture the Twitch championship. Now coming into the battle for supremacy at the number 16 spot, this is his chance to make it all the way to the end and possibly challenge TJ Black once again at Endgame.
It's almost funny. It wasn't too long ago Matthew Ramirez was being the Iron Man and surviving this match. It's almost like Jake Eagle saw his teammate get eliminated, and now he's tagging in. And now Carl Stone tossed out by Ricky Valentine. Ricky wants Nemesis all for himself.
Well, yeah, the ring is just full of Nemesis superstars. We have got Jake Eagle, we have got Eli Evans, and we have got Ricky Valentine. These three men duking it out. Who's going to be the first one to go over the top rope? Looking like Jake Eagle from the way that the beatdown is being laid.
And now half the battlefield has been cleared. We've got about 14 entrants left. And as the numbers start dwindling down, we have to start wondering, who else is left?
I mean, now we see Jake Eagle just dumped out. Not as impressive as a performance as the other side of the American Dream votes, but I mean, thanks for showing up, Jake. And speaking of showing up, we've got another entry in this match showing up in just 3 seconds. Number 17, you said who's left? It's the likes of Chris Edwards, someone who has had a lot of issues with the backroom dealers, and you've got to think Eli Evans would love to get his hands on him right now.
Chris Edwards with those interesting pattern on his shades down to the ring. If there's one thing you can say about Chris Edwards' time here in CWL, it's been, I would say, relentlessly dominant. He's gotten a couple losses, sure, but more often than not, he has been picking up those victories one after the other, and he is looking to do that once again here at the Battle for Supremacy.
And this is his golden opportunity because, again, if Chris Edwards does make it to the end, he could challenge for the Nemesis Championship and actually hold it for real this time.
Yes, Ricky, though, not even giving up the chance. Ricky Valentine is determined, more determined than I've ever seen him since he's come back from injury. Ricky Valentine wants nothing more tonight than to prove all the doubters wrong. All the people that say he has lost a step, he wants to prove them wrong by taking out everyone in his path from number 14.
Now got him up on his shoulders. Once again, it is just Eli Evans and Ricky Valentine in the middle of that ring.
Now we await the next entrant. Entrant number 18 in 2 more seconds. Who is it going to be? It is going to be formerly General Nemesis. Some say the man that actually got Nemesis the #1 spot, and some believe he should have been the #1 entrant. How did he finagle his way into number 18?
I mean, listen, you don't become a general in any form of army without a little bit of politicking. And I would not be surprised if Alexander was a similar general in that respect.
Now getting that huge Hurricane Rana there, sending Ricky Valentine all the way across. Alexander is looking to clean up house.
He's got a hold of Eli Evans right here. Could be getting his first elimination as he sends Eli Evans over, but Eli manages to keep a hold of the rope and get himself back in. Alexander now with that Hurricane Rana using his agility, but he needs to get Eli over the top, or he can even push Ricky Valentine, and that would be an elimination.
Or he needs to focus on surviving, as Eli Evans just dumped him on the back of his head with that tiger suplex. And now Ricky Valentine staggers to his feet. He's been in this match, I think, outside of Eli Evans the longest. I mean, I guess that would be not that impressive, but still, he's been in here a while. As now, the ring is beginning to fill up once more with our 4th entrant into the ring. Who is it going to be? As got 2 Nemesis, 1 vacation, another Nemesis guy, and it's Drake Harrison, but more Drake Harrison than maybe I was expecting.
Absolutely, it seems that he's fought back a little bit of Rex here to make his way into the ring, and you know he's going to be probably going straight for Alexander. Although it looks like he's picking his opportunity a little bit more carefully, going for Ricky Valentine instead, maybe saving the best for last. They have certainly had their share of disagreements, and now they've both got their opponents in that rear headlock.
Oh, and now Alexander finally gets Eli Evans. Drake Harrison eliminates Ricky Valentine. Maybe a little bit more of a tactical approach now that it's maybe less Rex and more Drake Harrison here.
But also, look at the 2 men in the ring. The rematch, Drake Harrison versus Alexander. You've got to feel ever since his loss to Drake, Alexander's been chomping at the bit to get his hands back on Drake Harrison.
And now just wrecking him with these series of forearm shots. Looking for the kick, but not quite able to get it. Elbow driven to the top of the leg. Harrison hooks him up, looks for the suplex. Alexander counters with that punch and sends him over the top rope. Alexander is alone in the ring.
Here we go, number 20. We've got 10 entrants left, as now Vindication's William Black is going to make his way out here to the ring, and we're going to see William Black try and meet Alexander, because Alexander's the only man in the ring right now.
I mean, regardless of if he wins the match or not, Alexander, I think, is the only time I've ever seen someone clear the ring. Though he had a little bit of help along the way, he's not going to have any help going up against the Wolf of War. And I mean, he wants to say he's General Nemesis. Now he's got to deal with the Hunter of Vindication.
And just getting the elbows driven in again and again, right to the face. William Black looking incredibly dominant in the opening moments of his entrance to the battle for supremacy. And oh my God, maybe even breaking the arm there of Alexander. That was deadly.
And here now we see Alexander getting the upper hand. Oh, that big boot connects. And, you know, if they try and eliminate the other person, that gives them a little bit of time to rest, especially with the final 10 coming out. These seconds where you can rest are crucial. They could be the biggest difference whether you win or lose this matchup, as now we see the clock 5 seconds away from the next entrant.
Alexander put the boots to William Black. And, well, here we see someone who not only does Alexander have a little bit of history with, but, well, I'm not sure if he's related to William Black, but they definitely share his namesake.
Of course, 2 of the, I would say, more enigmatic competitors of CWL in the form of Samuel Black and William Black. No relation, of course, as I currently understand it. But we know that Samuel Black likes to obscure his features with that intimidating mask as he walks down to the ring. And that's got to be a fearsome sight for any wrestler. And now it looks like he's going to meet the rest of his competition here in the battle for supremacy, looking to eliminate William Black quickly, but Black able to stay on.
And now Alexander trying to take the fight over to Samuel Black, but William Black cutting him off, as both of the other competitors are trying to get the better of Alexander, but Alexander able to fight them off pretty well.
I mean, he has done a good job of fighting multiple people at once, but Samuel Black may have just taken his head off with that lariat. And now, dragging Alexander by the scruff of the neck, looking to just toss him out of the ring. And now, it's William Black versus Samuel Black.
Looking for the super kick, not quite able to get it. Turns it around, clubbing blow to the back. Has him hooked up and just slams him down. We're moments away, mere seconds from seeing the next entrant. Who is it gonna be? Oh my God. It's him, it's Golden Mask.
The Golden Mask, some say the leader of the backroom dealings. They are now about to, we're still missing Cairo, if I'm not mistaken, from the backroom dealings. Did he even get a number?
I mean, Cairo and the possibility of Dave Graves. I mean, backroom dealings definitely has a chance to run away with this all. But Nemesis right now controlling, actually I was going to say controlling the ring, but William Black actually a Vindication roster member. As Samuel Black though, well now Nemesis controls the ring. I guess it's commentator's curse after all.
And now getting caught with that moonsault press, just slamming Samuel Black to the ground. And Golden Mask is going to have to use every bit of that speed, every bit of that agility if he wants to take Samuel Black down and eliminate him from the battle for supremacy. But Samuel Black not done yet, dealing him a huge blow with that kick.
Now Samuel Black grabbing a hold of the head here. You know, Samuel Black has got to be feeling really good about himself right now, getting some crucial eliminations. And once again, we see that armband on the Golden Mask with the name Bobby. We're still wishing Bobby Slam a speedy recovery, as now the clock is winding down. We're about to find out entrant number 23, and it is going to be Vindications. Jack Thunderheart, the interim captain of the Crimson Dragons, trying to make his way to Endgame to challenge Pistolero for that Vindication Championship.
I mean, we've seen Sabotoa, we've seen Citro Horror. They competed earlier in this match with moderate success. Now we see, like you said, the interim leader. While MD, he says he's going to be taking some time off, but he did say he still plans on showing up in this match. Could we see the Crimson Dragons come to blows, letting yet again between Jack Thunderheart and MD? If Jack Thunderheart can stay in this long enough, and if MD is truly in this match.
All three of them locking up now. Samuel Black picking his opportunity. You're right, MD still has the opportunity to be in this match. And now Samuel Black with that huge power slam, looking to cut the backroom dealings dreams of heading all the way to Endgame, looking to cut them short here.
If not, Jack Thunderheart grabs a hold, is able to flip over Samuel Black. That is some impressive strength there from the former champion, but now Samuel Black able to fight him off. And you know, this is the exciting part about the Battle for Supremacy. There are some matches that we haven't seen before that we are seeing for the first time, such as Samuel Black versus Jack Thunderheart. But now number 24, the hardcore legend himself, Harris from Vindication, is here.
Picking his opportunity, picking his moment. Samuel Black looking to almost be sent out there. But he manages to hang on with just a moment's notice before he was going to be eliminated by Golden Mask. And Harris taking the fight straight to his fellow Vindication roster member, Jack Thunderheart. Looks like there's a little bit of a brand civil war going on here.
I agree. There's some Vindication people fighting Vindication people. There's Nemesis people fighting Nemesis people. And I mean, you know, you can tell why almost, because they have the same goals. They want to ensure that they stay on their brand for their championship.
I mean, but also as we see a Uranagi and a go to hell from Harris, but this isn't Battle Line. There's no brand loyalty here. This is about coming out here and winning the Battle for Supremacy, punching your ticket to Endgame. Are you saying that Harris doesn't want to go and main event once again? And I'm sure another person that loves to main event is this person right here, Carter Gates, who time and time again this season has had his moment ripped away from him. Now he's got a chance to claim a moment for himself.
Definitely got that chip on his shoulder as he marches to the ring. He is looking to inflict a significant amount of pain on every competitor here in this match. Sliding right in, and his eyes are right on someone. Who's he going to make his first move towards?
Connor Gates now gets closer to the party, but I think this is smart. Oh, he goes after the Golden Mask, after the backroom dealings de facto leader, and now the Golden Mask able to get a little bit of a counter there, but look at this. Connor Gates with that reverse DDT. Harris, though, about to eliminate Jack Thunderheart. This is some very, very scary stuff.
We saw Samuel Black. He got eliminated as we were monitoring Connor Gates' entrance. And Jack Thunderheart nearly joining him, but able to survive as the Code Blend connects on Golden Mask. Looking to see if he bleeds gold as well.
Look, I've been on the receiving end of the Cold Blood, and let me tell you, there's basically no other move like it. It totally destroys you. I wouldn't be surprised if Golden Mask gets tossed right over the top rope now, but it looks like he still has a little bit of fight left in him. And now Cairo, the final member that we might see of the backroom dealings, making his way to the ring here.
This is going to be a very interesting thing because now there are two backroom dealings members in the ring. This late into the game, those two could very well clear out the ring and make sure that they are the last two standing. And then at that point, it is best man for themselves. As now Cairo finally makes his way into the ring. And who's he going to go after first? He goes after the Golden Mask first.
I mean, hey, they said backstage, I want you to give me your best. And Cairo's doing just that. He's going straight for Golden Mask so he doesn't have to hesitate later on about whether or not to eliminate him. As we see Jack Thunderheart escaping Connor Gates and Harris there. And Golden Mask and Cairo taking the fight to each other. If anyone's going to eliminate a member of Backroom Dealings, it's going to be another member of Backroom Dealings. I would be surprised that's the pact they made backstage.
Well, Connor Gates looking to interrupt that by hitting that huge back suplex on Cairo, dropping him right on his neck, but now going right after Harris here. Beautiful snap suplex while the fight continues between Golden Mask and Jack Thunderheart.
And here we go. The clock is winding down once again. We're starting to get into the final five members here as number 27 is the one beast from Belfast. It is Tora Khan.
The Beast is looking to tear through this Rumble. And we've seen the Beast do some crazy things, but we've yet to see the Beast get a win. What if the Beast's first win is by beating 29 other men? As we see Golden Mask eliminates Cairo. Sorry, not to, bury the lead here, but Golden Mask going crazy right now. And now eliminating Harris. The Golden Mask is just gone on fire right now.
And now Jack Thunderheart looking to stop the Beast in its tracks, hitting that huge snap suplex. Connor Gates locking up there with Golden Mask in the corner, trying to toss him off, and he does it. Backroom Dealings is gone from the battle for supremacy. All we have left is Connor Gates, Jack Thunderheart, and Tora Khan.
But now Jack Thunderheart gets eliminated by Connor Gates. And here we see Nemesis go at it as the former Nemesis champion is now facing the Beast, Tora Khan. The clock is once again winding down. We are about to find out number 28 here. And it is going to be MD. He has promised that if he doesn't win here today, he is going to take some time off. But if he does, he is going to go to Endgame and challenge for the Vindication Championship.
That is absolutely huge.
The last hope of the Crimson Dragons rides into battle, and he goes straight for the biggest beast in the match. As MD goes up against Tora Khan, as Connor Gates gets to his feet, and we see Connor Gates be on a roll. We've seen Tora Khan try and just target whoever. He's almost, like I said, like a beast. And the fact that he doesn't seem to have much of a strategy, he's just going out there and fighting. And now it seems Connor Gates and MD have the strategy of getting rid of the biggest man in the match. Doesn't really pan out for them.
Both of them get caught with strikes right across the jaw.
Oh, look at that. MD was able to chop the leg of the Beast. It's now MD maybe looking to try and get rid of the Beast here. He needs to do more damage. He can't just pander to the crowd here in Russia. We've got 3 seconds left before the next entrant. And we've got another Nemesis superstar.
We know for Nemesis, this is the final countdown. Johnny Gemini, the last Nemesis entrant in this match. And might I say, at one hell of a spot.
Incredible luck to get that number 29 spot, and Johnny Gemini has got to be on his A game if he wants to go all the way to Endgame and challenge for one of those prestigious CWL titles. It's going to be hard, it's going to be tough, but perhaps he has the fight left in him to eliminate the remaining entrants.
But now we've got to think. The last number we know is going to be from Vindication. It's the same reason the number 1 spot was to Nemesis. That was what was at stake at Battle Lines. But if I'm doing my math correctly, y'all, doesn't that mean that Griteri is going to be number 30?
We'll have to see, but right now what we're seeing in the ring is we're seeing MD take the fight to the Beast, and Connor Gates once again dropping Johnny Gemini with the cold blend. This is almost a rubber match between the two, as these two, they've been brawling it out. They fought on the last Nemesis, and now they are fighting for a chance to main event Endgame. And you've got to feel, as much as there's a friendly rivalry between the two, both men want to go there, and they'll do whatever it takes to get it, as we are down to the final 4, 3, 2, 1. And it is the Pride of Mexico, Al Griteri, and he is coming in on one hell of a high, one hell of a one, and at the best possible spot.
He is here. He has been fighting for several months on Vindication, and he thinks it's time to claim that glory that he feels belongs to him. He wants to take his spot as the Pride of Mexico on the top of the mountain. He wants to be a champion in CWL.
And not just that, y'all. The title match is going to happen at Endgame. It's going to happen in Mexico. Can you imagine if Griteri actually wins this matchup?
The Pride of Mexico with a lot of pride on the line. He's been talking a big game for weeks now, but he's in the perfect position to back it up. Number 30 doesn't get any better than this for him. He can't afford to get too cocky.
Speaking of getting cocky, Johnny Gemini trying to take on 2 men at once. Not exactly the smartest strategy. Trying to take on, two of the best wrestlers in all of CWL, Connor Gates and MD.
Now, y'all, as we see the final 5 here, I have to ask, who do you think has the best chances here to go on to Endgame? Alex, let's start with you. Who do you think has the best chances?
If we're just looking mathematically, Griteri, he's the freshest man in this match. He would have the best chance of going all the way to Endgame, but just gotta look at Tor Khan, the heaviest man in this match. It's gonna be hard to eliminate him. I've got to say it's a toss-up from those two, one man from each brand.
Now we have Connor Gates with that necklock applied to Griteri, perhaps looking to eliminate him early. And Griteri is gone! Your pick, the number 30, is gone!
He got a bit too cocky, I guess. He was riding this high, and now he's been sent crashing down to earth.
We're looking at our final 4. Griteri is out. We've got MD, Johnny Gemini, Tora Khan, Connor Gates. One of these 4 men will be challenging for a championship at Endgame. Keep that in mind. The stakes could not be higher.
And as we clear the field, it is one Vindication person left. But it is no Vindication people left. MD was the last man standing for that brand, and now we know that Nemesis is going to claim that prize. But which of these 3 men is going to be the one that makes it to Endgame?
We've got Johnny Gemini, we've got Tora Khan, and we've got Connor Gates. The Beast, the man who has never, we've got the Beast on one end, we've got the man who has never had his moment on the other, and we have had the man who has come so close time and time again to achieving anything in CWL. He came so close to the Twitch title. He came so close to this, so close to that. Now he has a chance to win the big one here tonight, and he's looking to do it by eliminating his rival first and foremost, Connor Gates.
Of course, these two absolutely burned it down on Nemesis, and now it looks like Tora Khan's gonna help him. Connor Gates might be out here. And he is!
We are down to the final two, ladies and gentlemen. One of these men is going to challenge for a championship at Endgame. We've said it all night long, but it doesn't change the fact that it's any less exciting. Is it going to be Tora Khan's time to finally break through that ceiling and show us that the beast inside was all he needed to make that next move? Or is it going to be Johnny Gemini? And Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, both of these men started their roads on Genesis.
Yeah, I was just about to say, both these men, they were at Genesis, not just Genesis, but part of like one of the first waves of Genesis to come up to Nemesis, and now the Beast is looking to secure his spot. Tora Khan is going to Endgame. The Beast has gone through 29 other men. He has defeated Johnny Gemini. He has defeated Connor Gates. He's defeated him. He's beat them all. And now he has secured his spot.
Your winner for the Battle of Supremacy, Tora Khan.
I am absolutely speechless right now. The fact that Tora Khan has secured his spot at Endgame for any championship of his choice. He can go after the tag team titles. He can go after the Nemesis titles. He can switch over to Vindication and challenge for the Vindication Championship, the YouTube Championship, anything. The entire field is wide open for Tora Khan. And if I'm any of the champions, I am deadly afraid right now.
This is a man. No, this is a beast that just outlasted 29 other men. If you're the champions of CWL, keep close attention, because you have this beast hunting you down. And as the beast, Tora Khan, looks forward on the horizon, we have to look back and bid you all a very farewell adieu. On behalf of me, on behalf of the chairman, on behalf of Jay Scott, I've been Alexandra Shaw. We're out of time. We've got to go.